beautiful Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in Raleigh, Maryland, where tonight a sellout crowd of 80,000 is here to watch an NFC East Classic between the New York Giants and the Washington Redskins. Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. It's great to have you with us. The New York Giants come into tonight's game with the youngest team in the league. They are without a player in uniform who has ever been to the Pro Bowl, and they have a rookie head coach. And yet this surprise team in the league has won 6 out of the last 7 games, and they can solidify their hold on first place in the division with a win tonight. The difference during this streak has been Danny Kanell. He has been rock solid. He's avoided the big mistake, and more importantly, he has his teammates believing in him. Let me bring in my partner, Joe Theismann. And Joe, the Giants have had the easiest schedule in the NFL, but that is history tonight. Tonight we find out a lot more about Danny Kanell and the New York Giants.
Mike, we'll not only find out about him, but we'll also find out about Gus Frerotte, because whether the Redskins win or lose tonight will depend on how well Gus Frerotte performs. The Giants are ranked 3rd against the rush in the NFL. Tonight against the Redskins, they'll probably put 8 men on the line of scrimmage to try and stop Terry Allen. That means that Henry Ellard and Michael Westbrook will have one-on-one coverage. That should give Gus Frerotte some big play opportunities. Plays he had and opportunities he had last week against the Dallas Cowboys, he wasn't able to convert. If he can tonight, then the Redskins could wind up with a share of the lead in the NFC East.
All right, Joe, the rivalry has been rekindled. The Giants and the Redskins back with the opening kickoff in 30 seconds.
It's going to be a war, and that's what it has to be. And we have to make it that. We have to go in, and we have to expect to battle to the end.
No one knows better than they do what a huge game this is tonight for both ball clubs and the NFC East as a whole. The Giants with a 1-game lead over Washington in the loss column. Dallas has fallen back to 6-6. The Giants would have a 2-game lead, or the Redskins can tie for first.
Mike, everybody understands the importance of this football game, especially now that Dallas has lost today.
Eric Pegram, the deep man, as the Giants will receive Barber and Wheatley back with him. Pegram from the 2. And stopped short of the 20-yard line. The Giant offense now under the direction of Danny Kanell, 4-1 as a starter since replacing the injured Dave Brown. Charles Way has quickly become one of the league's top fullbacks, a crushing blocker who can catch, and last week he rushed for 114 yards. Up front, the critical left tackle spot to Roman Oben. Seldom as a rookie he was used. He won the job in training camp. He used to sell pretzels at RFK. He doesn't want to get too pumped up tonight. Play action by Kanell on first down. He'll run with it. Forced out of bounds by Stanley Richard at the 25. For the Redskins defense, the line has been unable to generate any pressure. Rich Owens has only 3 sacks after 11 last year. Linebacker Marcus Patton has been moved from the outside to the middle and has been even more effective with more than 10 tackles a game. The secondary has been exceptional. So is Darrell Green. In the 15th year of a remarkable career, he still plays at an all-pro level. Wheatley straight up the middle in a gaping hole, dragging Richard with him across the 40 to the 42. That has been the backbreaker for the Redskins all year long.
What happens here is Jesse Campbell wants to come up and blitz, but he blitzes on the opposite side. Lance Scott in the center does a terrific job on Marcus Patton. And then you see Ron Stone turn, and all he needs is a little bit of room, and Wheatley's right through the hole. Not going to finesse anybody. He's a north-south runner.
Wheatley, the single setback. He'll get the carry again. Comes to the near side, turns the corner. That's Charles Way. And he's down to the Redskin 45-yard line. The Redskin defense is ranked 29th against the run. They are giving up a whopping 141.9 yards a game.
Mike, and it doesn't matter. Usually a defense will either be soft in the middle or else people can turn the corners on them. The Redskin defense, as we saw in those 2 plays, they've been gashed up the middle, and then Wade takes it around the corner. Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator, will try anything.
3 carries, 38 yards so far. Kanell to throw on first down. Swings it to Way. Ken Harvey waiting for him. They'll pick up a couple.
The Giant offense, Mike, is basically a positive play offense. Kanell gets back real quick, makes decisions, and gets the ball out of his hands. You will not see him hold the ball long tonight.
Jim Fossil has done wonders with quarterbacks in his trips around the NFL. Now he gets his shot as a head coach and making the most of it. Way cuts it outside, sheds Stanley Richard.
Michael, there's a case where Mike Nolan has the right defense called. He gets the support from the safety. In this case, it's Stanley Richards. Except Richards at the line of scrimmage cannot make the play. It's coming to the left side here. Stanley's right there. He's right there, but he cannot bring him down. That gives you an idea how strong Charles Way is. Big old stiff arm. Putting him on the ground.
247-pound Charles Way getting more of an opportunity to carry the ball. Jim Fossil said, if you make plays, you'll play for the Giants. Wheatley trying to get outside, and he is stuffed by the rookie linebacker Derek Smith. They'll be more than a yard shy of a first down. And no hesitation on the part of Fossil. Here comes the kicking team.
And a good decision. A good job by the Redskin defense, but a good decision by Jim Fossil.
Brad Maynard to punt it away. If he kicks it into the end zone, they would only get a net of 17 yards because the line of scrimmage is the 37. Poor kick, and it goes out of bounds at the 19. It's a net of 18 on the punt. The Redskins will have the football when we come back in a scoreless first quarter from Jack Kent Cooke Stadium.
Quiet Company by the Mercedes-Benz M-Class, the first 4x4 that performs like a Mercedes. And by Residence Inn by Marriott. Room to relax, room to work, room to breathe.
The Redskins will have their first offensive possession starting at their own 19-yard line. Gus Frerotte, play action on first down, now under pressure, scrambles and is dropped near the 20. Redskin offense led by Gus Frerotte, a Pro Bowler a year ago. He has struggled with consistency, but has gone the last 3 games with no interceptions. Henry Ellard needs only 3 more catches for career number 800. Only 4 other players in NFL history have ever done it. The offensive line has been shuffled all year, but Ed Simmons, their premier blocker, is back, and the line is intact again. 2nd and 9, Washington into the eye. Frerotte with his short set. Ellard couldn't hold it at the 20, at the 30.
That's Frerodte's pass intended for Henry Ellard, incomplete.
The Giant defense near the top of the NFL in sacks, and Michael Strahan already has a career-high 11, number 2 in the NFC. Jesse Armstead leads New York in tackles. He's gotten bigger every year, maintained his speed, and become a real playmaker. In the secondary, Jason Sehorn, the conference defensive player of the week for his play against Arizona. The last Giant to win that award was Lawrence Taylor. There's John Fox, the defensive coordinator. Came over a couple of years ago from the Raiders. Frerotte over the middle, wide open Westbrook. Got a block from Ellard. A crushing block from Henry Ellard got him another 5 yards. But, Joe, he was wide open over the middle.
Mike, I'll tell you something. Westbrook is so big and physical. Felipe Sparks, who's only 5'11", 190 pounds, he can't stay with him. Westbrook just muscles away. The Giants wind up picking one another, and Westbrook does a good job of feeling things. Henry Ellard comes in and does a nice job helping out his buddy.
Percy Ellsworth was leveled by Ellard. Perry Allen with his first carry near the 48. Gus Frerotte on Friday during practice threw a pass, felt a twinge in his shoulder, and immediately stopped throwing. And Joe, he didn't throw again until he came out here tonight.
Right, Mike. He really took the early part of practice. Then when they went to team drills, he felt the tinge, stopped, went and saw the doctor on Saturday, didn't throw it all in pre-practice, and came out here, warmed up, and he looked real fine. And so far tonight, it looks like he's got the strength in his arm he needs.
2nd and 9. Allen trying to go off right tackle, stopped shy of the 50-yard line. Corey Widmer, the middle linebacker, one of several tackles in there. The Giants, against the run, 3rd in the NFL this year, allowing only 93 yards a game.
Mike, they're a very active defensive line. They'll line up in one place, and then the players are allowed to almost coach themselves on the field. If they want to call a trick or a twist, they're allowed to make that adjustment. John Fox has asked them to be coaches on the field.
Chris Thomas and Brian Mitchell into the Redskins lineup on 3rd and 8. 4-man rush, good protection. Mitchell can't hold it in the flat. Would have been short of the first down anyway. Covered beautifully by Jesse Armstead. And then Mitchell, as he is often accused of doing, gets in a little pushing match after the play.
I think that just gets his blood flowing. It always happens early in a game too, Michael. You'll see Brian always try and nudge somebody. He comes out real fired up. Fortunately, that time it doesn't cost his team because he's capable of getting 15 sometimes.
Matt Turk, who leads the NFC, 4th in the NFL with a 45.6 average. It's a cannon shot, and it will go into the end zone. There's a marker down at the 38-yard line.
Into the end zone, there's a flag down.
Ineligible man downfield early for the Redskins. Let's see if the Giants will just take the ball at the 20.
I think they should. I don't think you want to give him another chance.
Ineligible downfield on the kicking team, number 50. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchback. First down.
The Giants will have the ball at the 20 when we come back. 0-0, first quarter. Has the advantage of having a couple of great corners. You think that would make them better on defense against the run?
Well, Mike, on our ESPN pre-play, we want to show you what happens when the two corners lock up outside. What Mike Nolan likes to do is he likes to create what amounts to a gap 8 front. Each of the linemen and linebackers up front will have a gap, and then the safety, in this case Jesse Campbell, will also fill the gap. So it should be very difficult to run unless the guys take the same gap. Then you wind up with a gash like that.
Giants have already had 44 yards on the ground. Wheatley trying to get outside, and Campbell, the former Giant, takes him out of bounds.
You know, when you've got corners like Darrell Green and Chris Theismann, you feel like you should be able to get your safety involved. But even as great as they are, if you try and line up too many people around the line of scrimmage, a play action fake, a good move by a wide receiver, a slip by a defensive back, gives you the big play. Mike Nolan is not going to commit 100% even with these corners.
Theismann and Green have literally been able to take wide receivers out of the game. Kanell with a short set. Out in the flat, he's got a completion up near the 30-yard line to Alexander. Let's see where the ball's marked. They needed to get to the 30 for the first down. And it will be a first down for the Giants.
See, Mike, this is where when you got a guy like Scott Gregg, okay, the right tackle, number 74, 6'8", 325 pounds. You've got Charles Way at 245. You don't want to risk going too deep to the tailback. What you want to do is maybe give the ball to the fullback, give him a chance to make a play, or go 2 tight ends and let Danny Kanell figure out which side he wants to run to.
They'll go 2 tight ends this time. Way cuts inside of Smith and pounds his way out to the 38-yard line. Even though the Redskins have been giving up so many yards on the ground, they are 3rd in the NFL in the most important defensive statistic of all, and that's points. They have found a way to get it done.
Well, I think that's what happens as a team moves down the field. You're almost saying, okay, we'll give you the 80 yards, but when you get down around the goal line, you can't push us around as much. Now we can play a little tighter and force them to throw. Therefore, the points stay down.
2nd and 3. Wheatley. course, the Redskins playing without Sean Gilbert, who has held out all year long, wanted up to $5 million to sign, and there was no way the Redskins or anyone else was going to give him $5 million. But he was a linchpin in this defensive line, and they are really hurting without him.
They really are, Mike, but I got to be honest with you. He got stubborn and bullheaded, and he just decided he was not going to come down. I'll grant that he's a very, very good defensive tackle, but he's not worth $5 million. And with him there last year, they were still ranked dead last against the run. So they have to wonder how much difference would it make if he was a part of this team.
Well, Sean Gilbert last year led this defensive line in tackles. He had 107. Rich Owens leads the defensive line in tackles this year. He has 40. That is a huge difference, and nobody has made it up. But I totally agree with your point. He is not worth that kind of money. If Reggie White and Bruce Smith aren't, Sean Gilbert is.
Exactly.
3rd and a yard from the 39. The crowd coming to its feet. Waitley took the backfield and dropped. The ball's loose. William Gaines, number 95, came through to make the stop.
Mike, that's what I talk about when you hand the ball deep to a tailback. It's much more efficient to be able to try and get it to the fullback on a quick hitter. What happens is the tailback gets it 6 yards deep, and you wind up with penetration. See, Wheatley is about 6 yards deep. Gaines does a terrific job of just putting his body in the way, and even being held makes a one-arm tackle.
The Redskins said the people who were limping least would play the defensive line tonight. Gaines draws one of the straws and makes a big play. Maynard to kick to Mitchell. High floater. Mitchell at the 26. Wheatley trying it on 3rd and 1 and stopped short by William Gaines, the 4-year man out of Florida. The United States in the Capitol building. Smack dab in the middle of Washington. Just one of the beautiful sights here. Allen and Logan are the backs. Logan playing because Larry Bowie is banged up. And Terry Allen had a hole, but it closed quickly.
You know, Mike, what happens is you start reading about people being able to run on, and the offensive line doesn't necessarily take it seriously. Jim Fossil right now is reminding his offensive line, we are not going to be able to keep the ball if we can't convert 3rd downs.
Redskins have stopped him twice on 3rd and short. The Skins go to 2 tight ends here on 2nd and 8. Frerotte with time and throws complete at the 41-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. Henry Ellard.
Mike, I think Henry Ellard is one of the best receivers in football, making a catch when people are around him. There's not a whole lot of room, and we just solved the problem of Gus Ferrotte's arm. He sticks this one in. He's working against Felipe Sparks. He's got him right on him. But you see how he creates that little bit of slide outside to give Gus a chance to put the football away from the defender.
Henry Ellard over 1,000 yards last year. In 1988, he led the NFL with 1,400 yards. Frerotte with time. Westbrook out of bounds. Contact. Sehorn on the coverage. No flag. Jason Sehorn, we talked about the Redskins corners. The corners for the New York Giants. Sehorn and Felipe Sparks, as well as the rest of this division.
They're all good. And this is the matchup the Giants want. They want Jason Sehorn on Michael Westbrook. He matches up very well. See, remember he pushed away Felipe Sparks before? He's not going to do that to Jason Sehorn. Sehorn gets his head around, which causes the reason why there wasn't a flag.
And Jason Sehorn can run with anybody. 2nd and 10. Draw to Allen. Stutter step, and he is nailed by middle linebacker Corey Whitmer.
The way this game is starting to take shape, Mike, the Giants are going to have to do more than just try and pound it at the Redskins on offense. It looks like the Redskins on offense are not going to be able to run the ball as effectively as they want to. So again, it falls on the shoulders of Gus Frerotte and the receivers to be able to make the passing game work.
Redskins are the best in the NFL in third down conversions. Brian Mitchell comes in on 3rd and 7. Frerotte short set. Westbrook. This guy is just waiting to become either a tremendous player or a colossal bust, one or the other. He's got incredible talent.
And what happens, Mike, is that John Fox winds up with another mismatch. This time, Felipe Sparks is on him. Last time he was on him, he made the big play and shedded him. This time, he gets his big body inside. Felipe tries to body block him. Sehorn winds up hornswaggling.
He's had an awful lot of trouble staying healthy. The first-round draft goes out of Colorado. Frerotte to throw again, and this one is high, intended for Eller. That's really the first poor throw Gus Frerotte has made tonight. And you go back 2 catches to the one he hit Henry Ellard on. That ball was there almost before Ellard came out of his break.
He'll do that like every other quarterback. The quarterback position is under so much scrutiny in football today. If you miss one throw, everybody harps on it for 5 minutes. It happens. Trust me, Michael, it happens. You do throw bad balls every now and then.
I don't remember you throwing a bad one.
A 1970,
you can't remember. 2nd and 10 Redskins from the 44. Now a nice cut to the outside, and then he's chopped down after a gain of a yard. NFL Prime Monday tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Mike Tirico, Joe Theismann, and Sterling Sharp preview the Monday night game between the Raiders and the Broncos. We'll have live reports from Mile High, Chris Mortensen with the latest NFL news, and Leslie Visser goes backstage with Bronco linebacker John Mobley. Tomorrow night, Prime Monday. 2:55 and counting, first quarter. Redskins have the ball, 3rd and 10 at the Giants' 43. Gus Frerotte is at 3 out of 7, 54 yards. Chris Thomas, number 89, in as an additional wide receiver. Frerotte throws to Thomas. He's got it at the 30. The 3rd catch of the year for Chris Thomas out of Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, and now they say it's incomplete.
Mike, watching Gus Frerotte take the snap from center, this throw was going to be a problem anyway. He got his feet crossed up as he drops back. Now here he is set. He's just not set comfortably, and the ball winds up going down low on him. It's behind the receiver a little bit. Should make the catch, but his footwork messed him up a little bit.
Turk to punt to Amani Toomer, who waits at the 10. Toomer lets it go, and it's into the end zone. 43-yard kick, but a net of only 23 as the Giants will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 2:26 to go in the quarter. A battle for first in the NFC East.
Convertible 3rd down.
Terry Allen, who set a franchise record last year with 1,353 yards, has about half of that this year. He's been banged up, missed some time with a knee injury. Comes the blitz. Felipe Sparks from the corner and gets the sack on Frerotte.
That's why I think you would have probably wanted to run the football a little bit to keep it close. That was a sack to take them out of possible field goal range if they could convert the 3rd down. Felipe's on the corner. Gus doesn't see it. Gus is really not going to make too many people miss in the pocket. Winds up going down with the sack.
The Redskins are not going to bother to run another play with a clock winding down. They will face a 3rd and 15 at the Giants' 46-yard line. We have played a quarter at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. 0-0. Giants and the Redskins. The magnificent facility that replaced RFK, the longtime home of the Redskins, built by the Redskins' late owner, Jack Kent Cooke. 80,000. It's a beautiful stadium, and John Kent Cooke, his son, who now runs the ball club, named it after his father. He did not go for the money, as just about every other stadium in the country has done, and he deserves a lot of credit for that. And to honor his late father, who was the Washington Redskins.
He said he wishes his father was here to be able to see it.
Yep.
I commented to him one day, I said he is. He's got the best seat at the 50, and he's looking down on all of us. Mr. Cooke was a great man, and I owe him a great debt of gratitude for what he did for me as a Redskin.
3rd and 15 for Washington. Every 3rd down tonight has been long for the Redskins. Frerotte with time to Mitchell at the sideline. There's a flag down in the secondary. it would not be enough for a first down regardless. The indication is it's against the Giants. The Redskins playing tonight without Alvin Harper and Leslie Shepard, both injured. Illegal contact against the Giants. Shepard was hurt a week ago against Dallas. He's on IR, out for the year. Harper will miss 2, maybe 3 with an Achilles strain. And the officials talking this one over about what the walk-off will be after the illegal contact.
Illegal hands to the face on the defense, number 41. That is a 5-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Conrad Hamilton, a backup corner who plays in the nickel. There's Leslie Shepard, the cast on the left arm. He had been the go-to guy. 562 yards receiving, and what an average, nearly 20 yards a catch. It was number 1 in the league, and the Redskins were just heartsick about losing him last week.
He was their big and deep threat. Now Michael Westbrook has got to pick it up and be the guy.
Big first down for the Redskins on the penalty after facing 3rd and long. Allen on the toss. Cut down by Armstead. What a play by Jesse Armstead. Joe, he's gained 25 pounds in the last 3 years. He just keeps getting bigger.
And you know, Mike, this, like I said, what John Fox did with this defense is he gave everybody on the front 7, defensive line and linebackers, the freedom to see things and go after it. That's exactly what he does. He sees the toss. Now he just runs for it. He may have had an inside gap, but he sees the play go outside, and he takes off and makes the play.
Speed enough to get outside. Bob Dahl, the pulling guard. Terry Allen now 7 carries, only 4 yards. Frerotte with a pump fake, then tries to dump it off to Logan. Threw it low and behind him. And the crowd is really quick to jump on Gus Frerotte tonight. College basketball tomorrow afternoon beginning at 2 o'clock. First round action from the Maui Classic. Perennial giant killer Chaminade takes on number 2 Duke. The Blue Devils are loaded. Then at 7 on ESPN2, the defending national champion. Arizona Wildcats against Boston College. At 9:30 back to ESPN. George Washington against Kentucky. There's always such a great tournament. Chaminade invariably knocks somebody off. Another 3rd and long for the Redskins. Frerotte with a pump fake, floats it deep downfield. A flag is down. It was nearly picked off by Percy Ellsworth, who came over from the safety spot. Now check the marker.
This one's going to be against Conrad Hamilton again, number 41, holding. Back-to-back 3rd and long plays and penalties back-to-back on Conrad Hamilton, who's getting an earful from Jim Fossil.
Holding on the defense, number 41. 5 yards, automatic, first down.
Ladies and gentlemen, this quarter's extra replay brought to you by John.
Number 41 is locked up on Chris Thomas. He's grabbing. I mean, he's just hanging on to him. He's got to understand where the 5 yards is. You can't hit him. That's exactly what Jim Fossil's trying to explain to him. Just get in the area. You're playing zone.
Hasn't been a good 2 weeks for Conrad Hamilton. He gave up a 70-yard touchdown pass last week. Frerotte near side, too high for Ellert.
Mike,
Well, this crowd's a little demanding tonight.
What do you mean, this crowd? Don't tell me about this crowd being demanding. Hey, if you're a quarterback in Washington, there's lots of signs like this hanging. You just change the names, whether it's Jurgensen, whether it's Schrader. They just keep changing the names. But the big thing is Gus Frerotte is most efficient when the running game is working. It is not working tonight. Therefore, he's having to stay in the pocket and make throws, and he's not very comfortable doing it all the time.
Very strange drive so far. 5 plays, 1 net yard, 2 first downs by penalty. Terry Allen on the draw. Ouch. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Michael Strahan, the defensive end, led the charge. Cedric Jones also got in there, and Robert Harris was around the ball.
Conrad Hamilton has a chance to come back on the field again, too. Strahan, number 92. They're trying to double team him with Dahl and Simmons, and they can't do it. This guy has really, really blossomed into what I think is a Pro Bowl end. 11 sacks.
Joe, I was just going to say, they haven't had a Pro Bowl player in a long time, since '93. They may have 3 or 4 on this team this year, including Strahan. Another 3rd and long for the Redskins. Pressure on Frerotte. He sacked through it right into the back of his lineman, and that'll be another penalty.
See, that's just a bad decision. If you're going down, take the sack. If you throw the ball or it gets bounced up in the air, there's a chance of an interception.
I think Norv Turner is thinking right along the same lines.
Robert Harris, number 97, is up against Bob Dahl, number 75. You see the right guard. Harris just goes right around him, hangs on to Frerotte. Now just take it down, Gus. Trying to make a play. But again, it all goes back. The Redskins aren't able to run the football. The Giant defensive linemen and linebackers are just coming after him.
Touching of the pass on the offense, number 76. The penalty is declined, making it 4th down.
The crowd really seems like it's sitting on the edge of its seat, waiting for a play to happen.
Certainly the Giants have contributed to trying to help the Redskins in this drive. 2 holding penalties, or 2 penalties to create 1st down.
Samani Toomer, 6th in the conference in punt returns, waits at the 10. Turk will try another pooch punt. Angles it toward the sideline and puts it down near the 15. 12:50 to go first half after a 24-yard punt. We are still scoreless.
And by Travelers Insurance. What we all want, Travelers Insurance provides. Something you hold on to.
Mike Patrick, Joe Theismann, Ron Jaworski, our entire ESPN crew. Tonight we're in Ralph John, Maryland for the Giants and the Skins. New York, every possession at the 20 or inside it. Charles Wood wrapped up as he got to the line of scrimmage. The second big play for William Gaines. And they have waited all year for somebody along that line to make plays.
You're exactly right, Mike. The defensive lines in this game are really taking over. They're not allowing any yards on 1st down, which is putting the offenses in obvious throwing situations.
The Giants have to feel very fortunate still being in a 0-0 tie considering their field position. Kanell with a short set and the quick pass. He's got the completion to Tiki Barber, who was out as a flanker. He's brought down by Jesse.
Mike, when you have 2 great corners, what a terrific call by Jim Fossil. When you have 2 great corners, you put the slot away. You put Dishman and Green on one side of the field, and then you let Tiki Barber go one-on-one with Jesse Campbell. Now you get yourself a chance. You get a matchup you like. You got speed against a strong safety. That was a call by Fossil that helped the play.
It will be 3rd and a yard. Giants trying to keep the drive alive. The one thing the Eagles did when they won against the Redskins, they virtually ignored the wide receivers, threw to the tight end in the backs, and it was very effective. 3rd and a long yard out of the shotgun. Danny Kanell. Incomplete, intended for Pegram. And he had Jamel Williams, the rookie out of Nebraska, in coverage on him.
That's exactly what you're looking for, Mike. You do. You spread the field out. You let your back go one-on-one where you get a better matchup. That time, he couldn't hang on to it.
Maynard, who was off to a poor start here tonight, to punt to Brian Mitchell.
Special teams could really be the difference in this game tonight, Mike, the way both defenses and offenses are playing.
Mitchell has certainly been the difference before. Low kick, Mitchell from the 35. There's a block in the back on the Redskins, and this will come back at least another 10 yards. A 4-yard return after a 41-yard punt. And now another flag comes down after the play. Sam Garnes made the tackle for the Giants on special teams.
The tackle by Garnes. Flag down.
Now they'll sort it out.
Pete Rodriguez, the special teams coach.
You know what must drive them nuts is when you see all these illegal blocks in the back that the players have to know are illegal.
Larry McDuff is the same way.
On the play for illegal block in the back. No foul. First down.
Well, that was about as obvious as it gets, and they picked up the flag. We'll be back in a moment.
They lost.
Football team, you better have a fullback that runs behind his pads like the Giants, Charles Wade. What he does is get leverage. You see, right, you're getting the ball deep in the backfield. The pads are low. Knocks Stanley Richard off because his pads are down. Good power. But right here's the key. You see the pads behind the body, the weight going forward, all 250 pounds. When there's contact, the pile goes forward because his pad level is down, runs behind his pads. Catching a ball on the perimeter, way up the field, pad level down, behind the pads, pile moving forward. This is the type of running that can wear a defense down, Mike.
And Ron, he gained a career-high 114 yards a week ago. Jim Fossil says he wouldn't trade him for any fullback in the NFL. Logan and Allen, the backs for the Redskins. Play action by Frerotte into the flat. His tight end Jamie Asher dives to the 40. Let's go back to Ron.
Mike, even though Charles Wade is 250 pounds, he's very versatile. As we take a look at the numbers, you can see he's run the ball for 26 yards, caught a couple passes, and the yards after the first hit, that's 16. That's key. This is the guy that just keeps moving forward. He is responsible for over 50% of their offense right now. When you think of fullbacks, you think of Allstott and Charles Wade. They're the prototypical guys right now, Mike.
And Jaws, he's already been a big factor in this ball game. Back to the run, Terry Allen. And Joe, the Giants defensive line just doing a whale of a job against the Redskins rush.
They're really not giving the Redskins a crease at all. They know that Terry Allen is a quick hitter. Terry likes to make decisions and get up the field. What the Giants are doing is they're matching that with their secondary and their linebackers. When a hole opens, they don't hesitate. They fill right away. Then you wind up with the stalemates that they're getting at the line of scrimmage.
And they're doing it against a very good Washington offensive line. Terry Allen on the night, 9 carries, 4 yards. Brian Mitchell comes in, 3rd and 3. Frerotte on a little half roll. Westbrook close to the first down, very close. Conrad Hamilton made the tackle.
Mike, we haven't had one of these yet. I think he missed it by about 2 inches. And I'm doing it before the measurement, too, which is unusual. This is a quick little speed. Gus does a good job of getting the ball out. Michael does a nice job. Now, he doesn't have it right there, and he doesn't have it, and all of a sudden they move the ball out. It's going to be real interesting to see where the chains wind up.
Well, the last time you were right was somewhere around the end of the Civil War,
yeah,
so we'll see.
Real close there.
Oh.
What is that, Mike? Is that 2 inches?
That may be an inch. But you're right, one way or another. Of course, the crowd's saying go for it, but the nothing game inside your own territory, you can't do that.
Now,
that was a heck of a tackle by Hamilton.
It really was, and this is the right decision, too. Michael Westbrook did everything he could to try and pick up the first down. He didn't get the depth initially, but tried to make the play. This is absolutely the right position because the score is what it is. It's a field position game.
Special teams becoming more important as the clock works its way down to 9:45. Amani Toomer waits at his 13-yard line. He has already run one back this year for a touchdown. Beautiful punt by Turk. A mile high and down at the 1. Darryl Pounds with great positioning on special teams. Turk kicked it sky high, 56 yards. The Giants starting a hole again. Memorial in Arlington, Virginia, one of the inspirational sights around this beautiful city. The Giants start in a hole from their own one. Charles Way lost the ball on the way down, but fell on it at the 6. Kanell, the rookie defensive end, made the tackle, along with Jesse Campbell.
That was a good job by the offensive line of the Giants, just creating a little crease and allowing Charles Way to run. Little quick hitter. Gaines goes to the right. He comes back. Watch this. Just before he's tackled, the ball's loose. The Giants get the lucky bounce.
Way again to about the 8-yard line. Go ahead. I was going to say Jim Fossil did something that I thought was very unique in training camp with tempo with his club on offense.
It isn't just training camp, Mike. It's through practice and also in games. He likes to get the balls going. He likes to get them in and out of the huddle. Likes to call plays quickly. He wants his offense at the line of scrimmage ready to go while the defense is still trying to figure out what they're doing. You'll see them constantly be quicker than anybody in the league in and out of the huddle.
3rd and 3. The Giants have yet to convert. 3rd and short. They roll for 3, and Kanell will have to use a timeout. The play clock running down. 8:10 to go first half. 0-0. Giants and the Skins. But he looks like he's faster. He's getting more big plays. That's all the NFL needed, is Barry Sanders being faster. Here comes Barber. And appears to have the first down.
That's a good job by the left side of that Giant line. Roman Oben, Greg Bishop on the left side, both collapsing and creating a little bit of a wall so that Tiki Barber can make the play. But he does a nice job of setting this up. Watch when he starts to run. Okay, he wants to take it inside, bounces outside, lets Bishop create a little bit of an angle for him, gets to the sidelines and the first down.
7:45 first half. Not this time. Barber wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and Jesse Campbell, the safety, was right there again along with William Gaines.
That was a case where everybody maintained gap control. Jesse Campbell filled his and could make the play. See the gap right here? Everybody's going to have a gap. Everybody's going to go this way. Jesse's going to fill right in here and make the play. He comes right into his gap right there. Nowhere to run.
Barber goes out as a wide receiver. They threw to him the last time in this formation. Kanell looked that way, then goes over the middle and had it tipped. Intended for Callaway. Darrell Green was all over him. Kennard Lang got a piece of it. The rookie defensive end from Miami.
I know it was an incomplete pass. As a matter of fact, it was an ugly incomplete pass. But did you see the way Kanell felt the pressure and just slid to the right to make the throw? He has a very good feel in the pocket.
Third and 10 for New York. It's been a defensive struggle so far. Barber in the flat. And Darrell Green got a shoulder into him. The tackle also made by Williams, but Barber pounds his way forward, and it looks like he's got another first down.
What a wonderful job of running by Tiki Barber. Tiki Barber's going to swing out down low. Now listen to the contact. That's a helmet and shoulder pad collide, and he still spins to get the first down.
Spot the ball at the 23. It is a first down for the Giants. Kanell to throw on first down. Barber slips the tackle. Got away from Smith. Then Stanley Richard takes a shoulder-high tackle and brings him down after a gain of 11.
Tackles led by Stanley Richard.
Tiki Barber started the opening game, had 20 carries for 88 yards. There are his numbers at Virginia. He was just a brilliant college player. And most people thought he was going to be the go-to guy this year. Then he hurt a knee. Wheatley came in. They've been waiting for Rodney Hampton all year. It's sort of been running back by committee. They'll go with two tight ends, Cross and Pierce, and run with Charles Wood. Smith waiting for him, brings him down at the 35. NFL Countdown every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Join the distinguished faculty of Bristol University for the best pregame show in the NFL. Then at 7 o'clock, it's all the day's highlights on prime time.
Let's get it go.
Then at 8, John Elway and the Broncos march into San Diego to take on the Chargers. 2nd and 9. Kanell throws this one away. Patton, the rookie wide receiver, pulled up on his pattern.
Well, Chris Theismann did his job of containing him. I don't really believe that the wide receivers of the Giants are going to have any catches tonight. And if they do, it could be a double move to take a shot with. But that's the only way I think the Giants are going to want to try and work to the wide receivers. They're getting their better mismatches with their backs on strong safeties and or linebackers.
Of course, they lost Ike Hilliard early. They lost Thomas Lewis. Even earlier than that, they lost Omar Douglas. 3rd and 9. Blitz by Ken Harvey again. The ball comes loose. No signal as yet. Redskins football.
Well, that grants in his helmet will tell you everything. This is the case where Obin and Tiki Barber don't know which one has Harvey. Harvey comes around both of them. Obin tries to tackle him. You're not gonna. Knocks the ball loose. There it is.
Even when Ken Harvey has not made the sacks this year, he has put pressure on the quarterback and forced someone else to make a play. He's a terrific linebacker.
There's no question. He is the guy that has to make the plays up front for that defensive line, and is doing it tonight.
2 of the 3 Redskins sacks for Ken Harvey. Back on offense. Logan lost the ball. They're going to say it's down at the 22.
The ground cannot cause a fumble.
That's Frerotte pass complete to Mark Logan. The tackle by Armstead.
See, that was in no way Kanell's fault. Both Tiki Barber and Roman Obin just didn't know which one was supposed to block Ken Harvey. And you can't see if it's not coming. You have no idea what you want to do.
2nd and 6 for the Redskins. Their best scoring opportunity of the night. Frerotte out in the flat. Jenkins, the tight end. That is the 4th catch of the year for James Jenkins. The only one he hasn't caught yet for a touchdown.
He's like a secret weapon in this Redskin offense. They go to him very sparingly, but he always winds up with a big play. Even though the Redskins haven't been running the ball effectively, the play action will set this up. Little play action fake, which allows him to get out into the flat. That time, Bernard Hosley was going to drop back and cover him. I don't think so.
Ball spotted. Deep in Giants territory, 1st and goal, Redskins. Perry Allen. Wrapped up in the backfield by Robert Harris. And that wasn't a very good-looking play. Gus Frerotte had to get out of the way to make the handoff.
When that 40-second clock starts to run down, Mike, especially down around the goal line, because you have long substitutions, what happens is you have less and less of the clock to use. So Gus didn't really have an opportunity to take a look at the defense. He had to get up there, get the play snapped real quick. Giants had the edge on the defensive line.
Giants defense 29th, giving up rushing touchdowns in a goal-to-goal situation. Allen on the draw. The Giants stop him short of the goal line. 3rd and goal for Norv Turner and his offense. And now pushing and shoving after the play. Well, this looks like the old days, doesn't it?
It's starting to feel like a giant Redskin game now. A little bit of pushing and shoving. See, by Gus signaling there, he's looking for that 40-second clock to get restarted. He wants some more time up there. I think this is a great situation for the offense because they're close enough to be able to create a crease for Terry Allen, but also play action right now. Somebody should be wide open. And there was a guy, Russ Grimm, the offensive line coach, who used to create huge holes for the Redskins.
Terry Allen has 11 carries, but he only has 5 yards. Play action by Frerotte. Under pressure. Tries to run it in. Touchdown. There is a flag down in the end zone.
Defensive holding. There is no foul on the run. Touchdown.
The play stands, and with 2:16 to go in the half, someone finally gets on the board.
And it came after a turnover.
The second rushing touchdown of the year for Gus Frerotte. Sometimes you look for the unexpected. Somebody doing something they wouldn't normally do. That was it from Gus Frerotte. Scott Blanton for the point after. And the Redskins take the lead 7-0.
The Redskins' reputation to run the football is what carries them. Here's the fake to Terry Allen. Keeps everybody inside. Gus wants to throw, but he manages to just get out of Holsley's grip. And now he turns it up. Big guy can run, though. Didn't have to run very far. Just manages to get out of his grip. Doesn't have anything open, heading for the corner. In a game like this, Mike, those are the kind of plays that a quarterback has to make. You're not doing what you want, running the football, your passing game isn't crisp, but he still manages to make a play. Strahan's just hanging on to Jenkins. That's the penalty.
And then two of the Giants banged together in the end zone as they were trying to pursue Frerotte. Ken Harvey's sack and forced fumble set that up.
The only thing that'll happen positive for the Giants at this point, Mike, is they're probably going to wind up with better field position than they've had the entire first half and give Jim Fossil a chance to be able to do something. I think he's screaming about the 40-second clock. The clock almost expired.
Fossil continues to make his point. 2:16 to go in the half. Blanton to kick to Pegram from the 11-yard line. Nice return by Pegram across the 35. And the Giants will have 2:06 to work with. Jamel Williams made the tackle for the Redskins.
Danny Kanell has had this to look at all night. That's Gerald Green up top, Chris Dishman down the bottom. When he goes back to throw, you can see that the wide receivers have created no separation from the defensive backs, which make it very difficult for him to be able to throw the ball to anybody.
Joe, I think these guys, the way they have played all year, are the best pair of corners in the NFL.
I agree. I know the division is full of them, but these two guys, I think, stand at the top.
Kanell to throw on first down. And sacked back at the 16. The ball came loose, but he was down. A loss of 19. He couldn't find anybody open.
Like the first time that he had a chance to look and see, he should have gotten rid of it.
1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, the White House, the home of the President of the United States. Boy, if you've never come to Washington just to be a tourist, you really owe it to yourself. This place is just unbelievable.
Loaded with places to go. Danny Kanell on that last play had absolutely no place to go.
Well, he kept going backwards.
Well, the thing is, once he didn't have what he looked for initially, he should have just thrown it away. Right here, he doesn't have what he wants, throw it away. It's 1st and 10, come back and reload. with a lot better field position than he has now.
Now he has 2nd and 29, and this is not a 2nd and 29 offense. Tiki Barber on the delay across the 20 to the 21. Ken Harvey with another tackle.
And the Redskins call a timeout here because they realize that they can get some great field position if they can hold the Giants on 3rd down.
Redskins will have 2 left, as do the Giants.
Mike, when I played, this to me was always the scariest situation. If it was 3rd and a foot, I felt like the defense was in good shape. But if it was 3rd and a mile, it seemed like they back up and somehow or other make a play and pick up 20 yards.
Ken Harvey, whose interests go far beyond football, interested in theater, movies, written children's books. Kanell with time, dumps it to Barber. Breaks 1 tackle. Darrell Green took him around the ankle and brought him down, well shy of the 1st down. And he got out of bounds, which stops the clock and leaves the Redskins with an extra timeout. Rookie mistake.
It's all part of youth. Danny Kanell trying to make a play when he didn't have to on 1st and 10. Tiki Barber, just go down. Make the Redskins use another timeout. Now you got 1 minute and 42 seconds. You leave them with 2 timeouts, and you got your punting team out on the field.
Maynard to kick to Mitchell.
Brian Mitchell in single safety.
Pressure by the Redskins. Good kick by Maynard. Mitchell from the 32. Lost his footing and went down at the 30. 45-yard punt, and with 1 minute 31 to go, the Redskins will have the ball again in good field position. Coming up at halftime, Chris Berman, the fastest 3 minutes in television, with all the highlights, particularly the Cowboys and the Packers. Sweet revenge for Green Bay. And is Mike Ditka done with the New Orleans Saints? Seemed to be extremely frustrated at his press conference today, and indicated that he thought maybe the game had passed him by. We'll see.
He came back because he said he was tired of playing golf.
Dump it off to Mitchell. Dives across the 40 to the 41. He'll have a 1st down.
See, I just don't believe the Giants can lay back and let Gus Frerotte just pick up 10 yards a clip to his running back. They're going to have to put some pressure on Frerotte.
4-man rush. And Frerotte throws that one. I believe he threw it away. If he had thrown it to Brian Mitchell, it would have been picked.
You want to believe he threw that one away.
I do.
I don't think he was leading anybody, and I guarantee you, he made a right decision there. See, I think the Giants have just got to go after him to try and get a sack here. I don't think they can lay back in any kind of zones and allow the receivers and the running backs to work for Norv's offense.
2nd and 10. Incomplete.
Mike, Gus Frerotte is just not comfortable in the pocket. You can see he's not sure about how far to step up. That time the Giants came with 6 people, made him a little bit uncomfortable and move around. And when he moves his feet, he is not a very accurate passer. He'll go back in the pocket fine. Now he wants to throw a crossing pattern, tries to step up, but it's not smooth. It's a double clutch, and the ball winds up being thrown way too out in front for Chris Thomas.
Got one hand on it, couldn't hold it. 3rd and 10. Frerotte throws this one underneath to Ellard. Henry Ellard to the 47-yard line.
Now the Giants call a timeout. It's like a chess game right here in the last 2 minutes. Both coaches using their timeouts.
They both have most of their pieces left. ABC's Monday Night Football tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. John Elway and the Denver Broncos looking to avenge an early season loss to the Raiders. 9 o'clock on ABC's Monday Night Football. 54 seconds to go here
Like we talked about 6 200-yard games in the league. Of course, Napoleon Kaufman had one against the Broncos the last time these two teams played.
Giants will have one timeout left. And Matt Turk, another chance to punt. The only brother combination with long snapper and punter.
See, now, if you're a money tuner, I would not field this if it goes past the 10. I would let it go in the end zone to try and save some time on the clock. Time is of the utmost importance.
Turk, a wobbler, high and short. And Toomer comes up past the 25 to make the fair catch with 46 seconds to go. Let's go to Jaws.
Thanks, Mike. You know, when you think of the traditional bump and run coverage, you think of guys being real physical at the line of scrimmage. But that's not how Darrell Green plays it, but it is the way Jason Sehorn does. On the left side of the screen, you're going to see how Darrell Green plays it. He gives the receiver a free release, but he gets a hand on him right there. He likes to feel where the receiver is going. And right there, he gets on his hip. That's called tailgating. And with that great speed, he can make up the difference. He uses speed. On the right side of the screen, Jason Sehorn wants to maul you, be physical at the line of scrimmage, hold you up, break the timing and rhythm of the passing game. As you can see, both these guys are very successful, Mike.
Well, Ron, those are nice shots there. That really gives you an idea of what's going on. Barber in the flat. Gets out of bounds. Let's go back to Ron.
You know, for the first half of this game, the quarterbacks have kind of shied away from throwing at these guys. They're covering very well. You can see Green has been thrown at twice. No completions. Sehorn 5 times, a couple completions. And speaking of Green, so far this season, when quarterbacks have thrown his way, Mike, they've completed less than 40% of them. That's pretty darn good.
15 years in the league, Ron. He says he's just as fast as when he got here. And it would be tough to argue with. Kanell with time. Floats it down the middle for Patton, and Darrell Green is right there. Green had a shot at an interception and bumped into Patton.
You talk about his speed, and it's makeup speed that I think really separates him from everybody else. But this is a great decision by him to jump up and try and make a play on the ball. If he's going up to make a play, the likelihood of pass interference will be nil. So you'll see him leave the ground. Patton's running. Now watch it. He'll go up and try and make a play on the ball. Even though he makes contact, it's okay.
What kind of a vertical jump for Darrell Green. Draw play. Barber. It's a saving tackle there by the rookie out of Colorado, Greg Jones, who caught him from behind.
Here we are with another timeout by the Redskins.
They will have one left. It's been a remarkable use of the clock by both teams. And now Tiki Barber, who missed 4 games with a knee injury, limps off for the Giants.
It looks more like a ham than anything.
Well, the Redskins initially used timeouts to force the Giants to punt. Giants did the same thing. Now the Redskins doing it again.
There's the play. It looks like his right ankle gets rolled up, but he's grabbing his left hamstring as he comes off. It's a chilly night. Not too bad.
Still 26 seconds to go in the half. And they're going to take Barber to the locker room right away. Walking a little better now and still reaching back for the hamstring. Will the Redskins come after it? Maynard got it out of there, and another good kick. Mitchell signals fair catch, makes it at the 22. Contact after the catch.
I think the contact was initiated by Brian Mitchell.
Usually is. Mitchell's a little chippy out there, always has been. Not going to back down from anybody. And now what do Gus Frerotte and Norv Turner do with 19 seconds?
He's got 2 choices. He can kneel down, go into half with a 7-0 lead with the ball backed up this far. I would think that would be the wise thing to do. Because if you complete the pass, you only have 1 timeout left. And you're really throwing the ball in a place where the Giants have a timeout left and can make a play. If he's going to throw, he's going to have to throw it in the middle of the football field, because I think that's the place where he'd be able to complete it the easiest.
Three wide receivers, and Mitchell is the back. And Mitchell gets the ball on the draw. Takes it outside where Sehorn brings him down at the 29, and the Redskins are going to play it safe. The battle for first in the NFC East has reached halftime. The Redskins on top. That's the end of the first half. The score, the Skins 7, the Giants nothing. Now let's join Chris Berman for the accurate halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. A close one.
Neck, and Jeff Hostetler has been warming up on the sideline. It remains to be seen whether he will start the second half.
Certainly, Hostetler looks like he's dressed and ready to go. He wore a jacket through the entire first half. Out of it now.
Brad DeLuiso, one of the best kickoff men in the NFL, to kick to Brian Mitchell. Low line drive kick. Stephen Davis, one of the up men, has to pick it up at the goal line. Now he's got to try to return it. And Davis gets only to the 17-yard line. Let's take a look at the first half numbers. And the Giants certainly more successful running the football, but they only had 21 yards passing compared to 97. The Redskins, who had the worst sack record in the NFL, got 3 in the first half, 2 by Ken Harvey. And Jeff Hostetler, the 14-year veteran out of West Virginia, the former Giant who led them to a Super Bowl, has come into the ball game. Hostetler has thrown 4 passes all year long, was getting frustrated with his duties here, had talked about maybe going somewhere else next year because he still wants to play. Hostetler to throw on first down. Screen to Allen, and he is wrapped up by the middle linebacker, Corey Widmer.
Mike, if you can't run the football, it has very little to do with what's happening in the quarterback position. You see his numbers, though. Almost a 58 completion percentage. 89-61. Touchdowns to interceptions. And actually had a very good year in Oakland last year.
Yes,
they just wanted to make a system change. His
career passer rating, 82.1. That is number 11 all-time in the NFL. Second and 14. Hamilton jumped early. There's a flag down as Terry Allen is buried at the 15-yard line. See if he was drawn off. And Hamilton will be called for the offside.
Offside, defense, number 75. 5 yards, still second down.
Gus Frerotte is being x-rayed in the locker room right now. I saw Sam Huff at halftime. He says, isn't this great? That's the way football is supposed to be played. The only way he'd been happier is if it was 0-0.
He would.
Hostetler double pump, complete to Westbrook, breaks the tackle. Westbrook running hard, got it up to the 34-yard line.
Jeff did a real good thing that time. He looks to the right, doesn't have what he wants, comes back to the left, and really doesn't hesitate. Makes the throw right away. We talked about the physical nature of the game between Jason Sehorn and Michael Westbrook. This time he doesn't get real physical with him because Haas looked the other way. Michael Westbrook does a nice job of staying alive and then shows you how tough he can be when he gets his hands on the ball.
One of the biggest corners against one of the biggest receivers. Allen. The running game has gone absolutely nowhere tonight. The Giants have done a great job. Keith Hamilton that time.
Mike, it's really been the Giants' front four also. They have been very active in making the tackles. When they do commit the linebackers, it's to put pressure on the quarterback.
It will be 2nd and 7 for the Redskins. Giants rushing defense, 3rd in the league coming in tonight. They have allowed only 17 yards on 16 carries. And the Redskins have been able to run the football this year. Flag is down. One of the Redskins moved early.
That's going to be on Henry Ellard, the slot receiver. That's a little bit of a quick start.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 85. 5 yards, still second down.
Probably the last guy, Henry Ellard, in the last spot in the slot that you would expect to make that mistake.
Yeah, normally in a home stadium where the crowd is not a factor, a guy that's not next to the football, you just don't expect it from wide receivers, whether they are in a slot or spread out.
Ellard needs one more catch to become the 5th player ever with 800. Had 2 in the first half. Already number 3 all-time in yards. Hostetler. Over the middle, first down at the 45-yard line. Jamie Asher and Hostetler really fit that one in there.
Oh, what a terrific throw and catch. This is just terrific execution between a quarterback and a tight end. Haas is hanging in the pocket, makes the throw. Asher just keeps on coming. Widmer was right there. What wonderful anticipation by Hostetler to lead him just in front of the defender.
Jamie Asher leading this club in receptions for the 2nd consecutive year. First down at the 46. Allen. Boom in the backfield. Had no chance, and there's the playmaker, Jesse Armstead. Here is another guy who is playing at a Pro Bowl level.
Real aggressive inside move. He's lined up, just reads the blocks, and then fills a gap. He sees that the linemen are occupied. Now, again, Mike, we talked about the front 4 of the Giants doing a good job stopping the run. That doesn't just mean tackling. That means occupying the blockers and allowing the linebackers to fill like Armstead did on that one. So they're not only making plays, they're helping other people make plays.
2nd and 11. Here comes the blitz. Hostetler stands in the pocket. This one's tipped in the air and intercepted. Felipe Sparks with his 2nd interception of the season.
That time the Giants, they're not waiting for the Redskins. The Giants like to dictate on offense and defense. They bring a blitz that time. The ball winds up in the air. And watch what Felipe Sparks does to make this interception. Haas sets. Here comes the blitz. He gets it off. The ball's in the air. Felipe Sparks pushes Henry Ellard out of the way to make the play.
Sam Garnes, the rookie strong safety, was the guy who caused the interception. He tipped the ball up in the air. Charles Way. Well, they really cleaned out the outside. Stanley Richard missed the tackle, and it's a gain of 8. Ken Harvey finally made the stop downfield, but Way picks up valuable yardage into Redskin territory. Sparks with his 2nd pick of the year. We told you at the beginning of the game, don't expect the Giant wide receivers to have many catches. Well, they had 1 in the first half. 2nd and 2. Way again, same play, same spot, nearly the same result to the Redskin 40.
And that time you saw the pace of this Giant offense. In the first half, they really didn't get in and out of the huddle as efficiently as I think Jim Fossil wanted them to. This time it's a quick count. Wheatley just really nicks the linebacker coming in, and Way does it on his own, getting outside.
Charles Way, the young man out of Virginia, who has become a complete football player. He was always a crushing blocker. That's why they got him in the first place. Way again, same play. Well, you call it until they stop it, don't you?
You know something? Absolutely, Mike. And a lot of coaches sometimes will start to shy away and say, oh, geez, they're going to be able to stop that. They have not been able to. Ron Stone, number 65, Scott Gregg, the right tackle, doing a terrific job. Number 65, he's going to get out and seal that whole side. Number 65 comes around, gets on Harvey, does a good job of turning him inside, and Way, as Jaws pointed out before, running with those shoulders straight ahead.
They've run the same play 3 times, 7 yards, 7 yards, and 7 yards. Now they'll go with Wheatley straight up the middle. Rich Owens has him, but look at Wheatley. Then he lost the ball. Out of bounds, the Giants will keep it. What a break for the New York Giants on that play. Wheatley battling for the extra yardage, lost the ball, but they kicked it out of bounds.
Stanley Richard tried to pick it up and take off running with it, and it just got away from him. You know, coaches always say, just recover it, just recover it. Don't try and make a play. There the ball's on the ground. Richard comes from the right, tries to scoop it up and make a play. Winds up, nobody gets control. It goes out of bounds.
Redskins would have had the easy recovery as it is. It's still 3rd and 6 Giants. Kanell with a shotgun. Fakes the draw. Way. Charles Way pulls his way for the first down. He is a tough, tough runner. Jaws talked about his body lean in the first half.
And Jim Fossil last night, when we had a chance to sit and talk about his players, Charles Way was one of the guys that he said he'll continue to feed because he makes plays. He just continues to do positive things.
Last week, he was the first Giants fullback since Ron Carpenter in '83 to go over 100 yards. Giants with their best drive of the night. Kanell. Callaway. The ball came loose, incomplete, but there's a flag down at the 4. Darrell Green was on Callaway.
Mike, we talk about the close coverage, and both with Green and Dishman, if they're going to be that close all the way down, sooner or later you're going to get a flag.
Interference on the defense. Number 28. That's an automatic first down.
And you will not see Darrell Green argue very often, even if the call's against him.
It's constant contact. You see, both of them are sort of nudging one another. Now, right where the ball is thrown, the flag is thrown way up there. I don't see it, Mike. It's just the contact that they've had all night.
Oh, that's just an awful call. But it gives the Giants great field position. Fleetly. Inside the 5 to about the 4. And after you saw the replay, you could understand why Darrell Green was arguing his case.
Where they threw the flag, he wasn't in any contact with him at all. Mike, we also talked about the fact that if the Giants were going to try and get to the wide receivers, it would be somewhere down the field where they could try and make a play on it.
The Giants are the best in the NFL in this situation. 84% of the time in goal to go, they have scored a touchdown. 2nd and goal here from the 4. Kanell. Callaway. Touchdown. Danny Kanell with a lot of patience and then threw a strike. The first catch for Callaway, and it's a career-high 5th touchdown catch of the year.
Chris Callaway, when you talk to him, I had a chance to this week, everybody says, I'm not real fast. All I do is try and make plays. That's exactly what he does. Again, watch Kanell. He stays in the pocket. Now watch him back time. Just backing up a little bit. Throws the ball, and a terrific job of walking the tightrope by Callaway.
There wasn't a Redskin within 8 yards of Callaway when he made that touchdown catch. And both the touchdowns tonight, the Redskins in the first half and the Giants right here in the 3rd quarter, followed the only turnovers of the game for those respective offense. We're tied at 7 with 6:58 to go, 3rd quarter.
McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's? Yep, I just did. By Honda. Vehicles designed to help simplify your life. And by Gateway 2000 Direct Personal Computers.
6:58 to go, 3rd quarter. We are tied at 7, and we have just learned that Gus Frerotte has left Jack Kent Cooke Stadium in an ambulance. We will get you an update just as quickly as we can. The preliminary diagnosis was a jammed neck. They took him in for x-rays. That's Brian Mitchell, 7th in the NFC in kickoff returns. Callaway saw another good kick. Mitchell at the 1. This is the Redskins and the Giants just the way you remember. Doug Coleman with the big stick on special teams. 6:48 to go, 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7.
for Mitchell.
Stadium in an ambulance, we are told, is just precautionary.
Right.
The diagnosis after the x-rays was a jammed neck, and we just saw how he did it.
I think this is the way he did it. What he winds up doing is he winds up, after he scores the touchdown, he slams the ball on the ground, and then watch this. He goes right into the, bang, hits his head right into the cushion. I mean, there's the Lambeau leap, and there's the Redskin ram. I think he'd rather take the Lambeau leap.
Wasn't a great idea on his part. Hostetler has this one knocked down.
Jesse Armstead, number 98. If he isn't rushing the passer, tackling somebody, he does a good job at the line of scrimmage here, just jumping up and knocking it away. Number 98 just hanging around. He's over. Trey Johnson winds up knocking it down.
The momentum has swung the Giants' way. Allen. There has been nothing for Terry Allen tonight. Bernard Holsey with another tackle.
And Mike, with the size of the Redskin offensive line, they are a tackle-to-tackle running football team. Terry Allen is a straight-ahead I-back. 14 carries, 9 yards. This offense is geared off the running game, and they're just not getting anything out of it. There's Russ Grimm, the offensive line coach. The offensive line is getting beat by the Giant defensive line, and has all night tonight.
3rd and 8. Four-man rush. Hostetler hangs in a pocket and then throws for Westbrook. That ball may have been tipped. He made the catch, and Sehorn took him out of bounds. Jesse Armstead may have gotten a fingertip on that ball, and he caught it anyway.
Michael Westbrook continues to impress tonight. And this is really what they want out of Michael Westbrook. This is the way they feel he can play all the time. Continue to make plays. He's making good catches, and as soon as he gets the ball, trying to get positive yards after it.
He has had such a problem staying healthy. But the guy's huge, 6'3", 220, and he can fly. Big first down, Redskins. Hostetler throws wide of Westbrook, who wanted a flag. Felipe Sparks right with him.
That is such a mismatch with Westbrook and the way he plays so physically against Felipe Sparks, who really plays a lot like a Darrell Green.
Yes.
Gives you a little bit of room, relies on his quickness to make plays. And these two corners are very underrated, Sehorn and Sparks. We talk about this division. These guys do a heck of a job for the Giants.
They're very good. Second and 10. Hostetler under pressure, and they got it. The front four met at the quarterback.
Mike, that is why the Redskins have to run the football. They can't just block anybody when they tee off. Robert Harris, number 97. Bob Dahl, he's just going to go right around him. Here comes the rush. He sets him up. Dahl just whiffs him at the line. Harris just comes right around to make the play. Bob Dahl got beat right at the line of scrimmage that time. Punched out in air.
Dahl has had some injury problems. Missed 5 games. Came back 3 weeks ago. He may be a little gimpy tonight. 3rd and 19. Hostetler dumps it for Asher. And Asher can only get back to the 31. And Brian Mitchell is down there woofing at somebody again. So the Giants will get the football back, and they have reversed the field position advantage here in the second half.
And Mike, they've done it with a tempo. Their defensive tempo has picked up. Their offensive tempo has picked up. That's really the only change here, and the turnover, of course, helped them a lot.
In the first half, the Giants averaged starting at their own 19. In the second half, they've averaged starting at their own 46. Turk to punt to Toomer. Kicks it away from him and kicks it out of bounds outside the 30-yard line. A punt of only 36 yards for Turk. 4:05 to go, third quarter. It's the battle for first place in the NFC East. And the Giants have tied it up. They'll have the ball again. It's in the city of memorials. It's the Women's Monument in honor of the contributions women have made in war throughout the years in the United States. And beautiful. Tiki Barber with the catch gets it up near the 45-yard line where Jesse Campbell took him out.
And Tiki Barber is hurt, Mike. You could see when he tried to spin and go out of bounds, that hamstring just tightened up on him again. I mean, he's trying to keep it loose, but every time he plants on that foot, it seems to tighten up for him.
Danny Kanell has not made many impact plays, but he's 11 out of 16 tonight. Giants keep it on the ground for a first down to the Redskins' 46-yard line. Charles Way just pulling through.
And we talked about tempo for the Giants. In and out of the huddle real quick. They picked the entire tempo of this second half up on offense in particular.
Charles Way after 114 yards last week, 65 yards tonight for Jim Fossil. That's the play clock, and when they're going on their roll, they get it down over 10 at least. Barber back in, toss sweep, game tackle this time.
He can't run, Mike. Tiki Barber was running straight-legged that time. I mean, you're getting as much as you can out of him, but I think at this point, Eric Pegram probably would be a healthier back. He'll come down the lower part of your screen. Now, watch it. He's not exploding at all. He's feeling his way. You saw him use quick moves in the first half. Now, the quickness is gone from his step.
You can almost see him dragging that leg behind him. Way is back in on 2nd and 6. And he's out as a flanker to the near side. Kanell with a lot of time. And he's hit from behind, loose ball. It's still loose. And this one will be a fight to the finish. The strongest guy near the bottom of the pile will have the ball.
And that would be Greg Bishop, I believe, in this case, number 78. He managed to wind up with the ball in the scrum.
Jamal Duff, the former Giant who was picked up by the Redskins because they were so desperately short of linemen, got the sack and the forced fumble.
Kanell with nowhere to go. This is Alexander. Chris Dishman's got him covered completely. Absolutely nowhere to go with the football. And that's part of the problem for Kanell. There comes the sack. 78 Bishop's going to wind up on it right there.
3rd and 19. Blitz. And Dishman all over Alexander. He didn't have a chance.
Danny Kanell has made 2 very critical mistakes trying to scramble around with the football. That is not why he has become the starting quarterback of the Giants. He's been heady, he's been smart, and he's protected the football. Twice tonight, it's cost him a turnover and almost one this time, but it certainly has cost the Giant offense a lot of field position.
And all the good things you talked about are why he is 4-1 as a starter. Mitchell back at the 10. Whoa! Beautiful punt this time by Mater. Mitchell makes the fair catch at the 9. 46-yard punt, no return. We only have 1:34 to go in the 3rd quarter. Still tied at 7. The Giants and the Redskins. Has only completed 2 passes to wide receivers tonight, Joe.
And the reason why is that the Redskins on their defense, both Darrell Green and Chris Dishman, are giving them absolutely no place. You see the right box. When Kanell goes back to throw, he's set. As he moves out, he plants. He's ready to deliver the football. But when you look at the other 2 boxes on your left, that's Green up top, Dishman down the bottom. The receivers have not created any space for him to make the play.
Redskins desperately trying to start something on the ground. Terry Allen dives to the 15-yard line. Jason Sehorn with the tackle. Darrell Green, 15 years in the NFL. Might play another 5. Chris Dishman they got from the Oilers. He was very unhappy with them, and they have been a great combination. They have challenged each other.
It's interesting. Both of them have been the corners on a team. They've never had a guy who complemented them with as much ability as these 2 one another. So you got 2 number 1s now.
2nd and 4. Allen absolutely nothing on that side. Ray Agnew, who's always a good run stopper with New England, comes up to make that whack. And if the Redskins can't run the football, they're in a lot of trouble.
And Bob Dahl has had his hands full, number 75. He's going to wind up taking right inside. Here's Dahl. He's going to try and block again. This time he tries to fire out, and Agnew just takes a hard inside to make the play.
3rd and 4. Time winding down, 3rd quarter. The Giants just killing the Redskins on the ground. Chris Thomas gets the ball up at the 20-yard line, but Felipe Sparks wraps him up in a hurry. The Redskins are going to let the clock wind down. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter from Ralston, Maryland. 7-7. Game in the NFC East, the Giants with a game lead on the Redskins. If they win tonight, they would be up by 2 games. More importantly, they have the tiebreaker on both Washington and Dallas. They would be almost unbeatable, barring a total collapse, if they win tonight, as well as their record in the conference. The Cowboys are rooting for the Redskins tonight because a Washington win brings them right back in it.
Now, there's a rarity in itself.
No kidding. Redskins do have a first down. Allen breaks the tackle. Terry Allen out of bounds near the 45-yard line. Finally got outside and turned it upfield for 29 yards.
Marcus Buckley, number 55, has a shot at making the play, but he can't get Terry Allen down. This gives you an idea how powerful Terry is. We talk about him running and being a north-south runner. Watch number 55 on the right of your screen. He keeps good position, but he just can't wrap up. Michael Strahan told me this. He said, you cannot try and tackle Terry Allen with one hand, and that's exactly what Buckley tried to do. Excuse me.
Corey Miller not playing tonight. That's why Buckley is at that linebacker spot. Allen roars through the middle this time, crosses into Giant territory. Ray Agnew in on the stop again. The Redskins had rushed for 24 yards in the first 3 quarters of this game. The last 2 carries, Terry Allen's picked up 33. Corey Miller, who really wanted to play tonight because he wanted to play against his old defensive coordinator, Dick Nolan, and they didn't get along. They didn't get along too well. I knew I'd say Dick Nolan before the night was over. Mike Nolan, his son.
It's all in the family.
Yes, it is. Stephen Davis checks in to give Maryland a break. Blitz against Hostetler. And they got him back at the 48-yard line. The Giants with a lot of pressure. Michael Strahan, with that sack, has a dozen. You've got to go back to 1989 when LT had 15 to find more sacks for the Giants.
They started Ed Simmons, number 76, tonight because of his experience. They felt he could do a better job against Strahan. Strahan just forces him all the way back. And you see Jason Sehorn, who came on the blitz as well. So there was no help for Simmons.
3rd and 10. Strahan by far career high. Hostetler floats this one, the pass completed, a first down that gets by Thomas. Chris Thomas at the 34, Conrad Hamilton on the coverage.
Jeff Hostetler puts this the only place that Thomas can go up and make a play. Sometimes you make perfect throws. Other times you have to throw the ball where a receiver can make a play for you. In this case, Haas throws it back a little bit and inside. And Thomas just goes up, comes back, and makes the play.
Chris Thomas has been a terrific special teams player. The reason he's getting a chance to play tonight is because of injuries to Harper and Shepard. Terry Allen, shy of the 30. Hostetler almost lost the snap from center.
You know, the only thing that the Redskins have to be really, really careful with is when you switch quarterbacks, the quarterback-center exchange. Somewhere as the game heats up and the speed heats up, the center may try and do something, but with unfamiliar hands on his bottom, may wind up leaving the ball on the ground. Almost happened that time.
Tito Wooten is the injured Giant. And again, if you just joined us, the Redskins lost starting quarterback Gus Frerotte with the preliminary diagnosis of a jammed neck. He was taken to the hospital after x-rays here. The report from the hospital is that he is fine, and that's good news for the Redskins. Percy Ellsworth will replace Wooten in the Giants secondary. 2nd and 7. Hostetler throws it to Logan. Logan brought down at the 27. Marcus Buckley, the linebacker, got him. Logan, an excellent receiver, was cut before the season started and brought back at a lower salary. Was not too thrilled about that.
It beats the alternative.
Yes, it does.
Not working.
Stuffing bags at the grocery store.
Terry Allen, 19 carries, 51 yards tonight. Most of them came on just one.
Hostetler throws intended for Ellard, and Felipe Sparks was right there. Bernard Holsey was putting the pressure on Hostetler.
This is a good physical matchup for Sparks. Of course, Ellard in his 15th year. Sparks just cuts down inside. Now he's just hanging with them. The ball just gets through. Henry could make that play.
The Redskins will go with the field goal from Scott Blanton, who certainly has the leg to get it there. But he's only hit 2/3 of his field goals this year. And only will be a 45-yard try.
And only 2 for 5 between 40 and 49 yards.
And it's wide. Plenty of distance, but just outside the upright. And the Redskins blow an opportunity to take the lead. But it was complete.
What a great idea.
Scott Blanton with a missed field goal. Giants with good field position in a tie game. Ken Harvey comes up and drills Charles Way.
You know, Mike, obviously Gus Frerotte holds usually, in this case, Hostetler, but here's Scott Blanton. He's looking at the film. He's looking at pictures with Pete Rodriguez. I got to be honest with you. There's uprights there, Scott, and you're supposed to kick the ball in the middle of them. I don't know what those pictures are going to tell him, to be honest with you, but obviously he found out what he wanted to know. Bottom line was he missed it. There's like 2 straight lines, those big yellow holes. You've got to kick them in between.
Tiki Barber comes in on 2nd and 11. Blitz against Kanell. Tried to throw the screen. The Redskins were right there for it. Marcus Patton, who's had a sensational year for Washington, applying the pressure.
You know, Mike, really, a lot has to be said. Marcus Patton moved inside this year and has done a terrific job. You start Derek Smith, who's a rookie out of Arizona, on one side, and Ken Harvey, who really is more of a pass rusher than a guy who drops back into space. But all 3 of these linebackers have performed very well for Mike Nolan.
3rd and 11. Nolan trying to get an extra player off the field. 2, in fact. Now there's another bit of confusion, and Jesse Campbell comes back on. Another blitz against Kanell, and he throws incomplete. The Redskins, it looked like a Chinese fire drill on the near side. Guys running off and on and off and on, and finally got it set. The pass was incomplete anyway.
And if he would have had time, he would have been able to complete it, but the blitz just didn't give him enough time to get the ball out where he wanted it.
Maynard will kick again to Brian Mitchell. Another good kick. Mitchell at the 22. And drags the tackler up to the 31. A 13-yard return. Brandon Sanders saved an even bigger run back. 10:07 to go. The Redskins and the Giants tied at 7.
Visa.com. By Courtyard by Marriott, the hotel designed by business travelers, and by Cadillac and your Cadillac dealers.
10 minutes, 7 seconds left in regulation. The Redskins take over at their own 35-yard line. Jeff Hostetler in at quarterback for the Washington Redskins. Terry Allen dragged down behind the line of scrimmage. Buckley with the tackle. Hope you'll be with ABC Sports next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern. The Skins game. Tiger Woods, Mark O'Meara, Tom Lehman, and Freddie Couples battling for $600 grand.
Freddie Couples, the defending champion. I love watching it. I mean, these four guys are so great to watch. The way they hit the ball, what they can do. In my dreams, I can't do those things.
In our dreams, we'd like to be playing for $600. Second and 11. Hostetler looks one way, throws the other. A lot of contact over there. Westbrook and Sehorn ran together, no flag.
Well, this time the Giants are politicking, saying, wait a second, offensive pass interference. I think Jason Sehorn reminds me of a young Rod Woodson. I really do. I mean, his physical size, his athletic ability, maybe not quite as fast. He's all over Westbrook. Nah, Michael was just falling down. That's all. But anytime it happens in front of the other guy's bench, they're going to do some politics.
Absolutely. 3rd and 11. Mitchell checks in. Neither team has been able to make much of a dent in the other's defense. Hostetler with plenty of time. His receiver falls down. It was intended for Ellard.
I'll tell you one thing, Mike. I have to give the officials a lot of credit. They're letting the corners play tonight, and they're letting it happen on both sides. In this particular case, I think the ball was probably ruled uncatchable, and Haas did the right thing. Put it out someplace where either your guy gets it, or it's going to be an incompletion.
Turk comes on to punt, and Toomer will go back to his own 20. Very high, but extremely short. And Toomer hustles up to the 38 to make the catch. A punt of only 27 yards. There is a marker down.
Toomer calls for a fair catch. The punt by Matt Turk. 27 yards is a flag down.
Invalid fair catch signal on the receiving team, number 89. That's a 5-yard penalty. First down.
It's lonely out there, Sid.
Washington. The Giant defense has been very active tonight, and they have a bunch of playmakers back there. But Jesse Armstead has been the guy that is very instinctive, making the plays. Here you'll see him read the down block and shoot the gap. This is critical. He reads the down block on Keith Hamilton from Trey Johnson and fires it and makes the play in the backfield. That is instinct. Here rushing the quarterback. Gets blocked by Joe Patton. Doesn't quit. Doesn't give up. Locates the quarterback. Sees the ball being thrown and bats it down. Very instinctive by Jesse Armstead. He is the heartbeat of that defense.
Charles Wade bounces it outside. Across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Let's go back to Jaws.
Okay, Mike, and the numbers running over there at Jesse Armstead. They've run on his side 8 times for 51 yards. And one of those plays, of course, is a 29-yard run by Terry Allen. You can see he's been involved in 11 tackles. He's batted a ball down that we saw, and he's had a tip, although the tip ball was caught. You know, in a game like this, you got to think a defensive guy is going to make a play, Mike, and turn it around. It might be Armstead.
Jaws coming out of Miami. You knew he had the speed as a linebacker, but he's become more physical as well. Wheatley trying to get outside. Stanley Richard comes up and takes him down at the 50-yard line.
The Giants have been much more effective tonight on 1st and 10, Mike, running the football than the Redskins have. And that's why they've been able to pick the tempo up in the second half.
Gain of 3.
It's like two heavyweight fighters going at each other, just slugging it out, and occasionally one of them gets in a real big shot. 2nd and 7, approaching the 8-minute mark. Way. Little hesitation, then barrels forward about a half-yard shy of a first down, where Marcus Patton made the tackle.
We talked about field position being so critical, Mike. in this situation now with 7 minutes to go, 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, the Giants are starting to control where the football is going to wind up.
Charles Way with 81 yards on 14 carries tonight. He is only 14th in the NFC in rushing, but Tyrone Wheatley is 13th, and when you put them together, they have nearly 1,000 yards rushing. Giants asked for the measurement, and it will be well over a yard shy.
You know, I always think that's a good thing. If you're a coach and the coach signals to the quarterback, ask for a measurement, you got to give it to him, because Jim Fossil on his sheets there has plays for 3rd and a foot, 3rd and a yard. You know, it may want to be an opportunity for a play action pass here.
3rd and 1. Kanell's going to throw for it. Way in the flat. He dropped the ball. That was a great play call. They got Charles Way out in the flat all alone. Danny Kanell put it right there, and Charles Way, with the only mistake he's made tonight, couldn't hold it.
That's why Jim Fossil wanted to know the down and distance. He had a play set up for this situation, been saving it all night. This one's too easy for Charles Way. Right through his hands.
Big break for Washington. They'll get the ball on the punt with 7:38 to go in the game. And games like this turn on plays like that. Maynard got a good bounce on this one, and the Redskins will start here where the Giants started the entire first half, deep in their own territory. 7:29 left in the tie game. By the end of the reflecting pool. What a wonderful, I've been there so many times and always just come away in awe of what they were able to do with that building.
You're right, Mike. This is a sensational city to bring your family and friends and just have a chance to enjoy history.
Washington is average starting at its own 17 in this half. Backed up to the 4 this time. Allen couldn't get outside. What a tackle by Sam Garnes, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Their 5th round draft choice came up from his strong safety spot and got the tackle.
Terry Allen goes a long way if Garnes does not make this play. Here's Garnes just over here. As the movement goes, he's going to come up on the outside and make the play. He's one-on-one. There's nobody else but him. Terry Allen had a ton of green grass in front of him.
2nd and 9. Flag is down. Somebody moved early. Looked like someone on the interior of the right side of the Redskins line.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 75, half the distance to the goal, 2nd down.
That's Bob Dahl, the right guard, who's had a tough night.
A lot of people have been trying to go inside and outside on him real quick. He was looking for a little bit of an edge on that one.
3rd penalty against the Redskins. They've all come here in the second half. Clock running, approaching 6:45. Hostetler, quick slant to Westbrook. Sehorn throws a shoulder into him, and then Westbrook goes ahead to the 19-yard line. That is a huge first down for the Redskins. Gets them out of trouble, lets them keep the ball with the clock running.
Mike, normally when you see a receiver get that open, he wins at the line of scrimmage. Westbrook does a good job of freezing Sehorn. He jumps outside, and then Michael goes up and makes a play. This is the way that they have expected Michael Westbrook to play. And when he's healthy, he's been able to do it.
Westbrook, 6 catches, 82 yards. Yes, sir. First down. Allen lost the ball, fell on it. Big break for Terry Allen.
Well, we saw Charles Way get the ball knocked out of his hands before it bounced up. This time, Terry Allen got his bouncer back in his belly.
Charles Way hoping he gets another opportunity. 5 minutes, 35 seconds to go. The Redskins would just love to keep it and get in position for a field goal.
And if you're the Giants, you want to hold them here, make them punt from deep in their own end, and get some decent field position.
Hamilton jumped for the Giants. Everybody getting a little edgy at this point. There's so much riding on this game.
Prior to the snap, false start offense, number 85. 5 yards, still 7 down.
That's Henry Ellard for the second time.
Just that little bit of a movement on the outside causes it. You know, if you're a wide receiver, you've got to watch the football. 15 years Henry's been in this game.
2nd and 14. Comes the blitz against Hostetler. Throws from his goal line. It's going to be incomplete. In the vicinity of Jamie Asher. Hostetler was just lucky to get rid of it.
Let me tell you, Mike, you look at different plays in a game. Everybody looks for a big run or a big reception or maybe a sack. This could be one of the biggest plays in the game for the Redskins, because by having his ability to move around, he's in the pocket now. Remember, he's got to get outside the pocket and get the ball at or near the line of scrimmage. He finds dead space, gets rid of the football. Now it's only 3rd and 12 as opposed to 3rd and 4 miles.
Brian Mitchell comes in the 3rd down package. 4-man rush. Time for Hostetler over the middle. Got it to Westbrook. How did he get that one through? Percy Ellsworth looked like he had a beat on it, and Haas just rifled it through.
Corey Winkler had a shot at one earlier that Asher makes a catch on that Haas threw. This time again at the line of scrimmage. That's where Michael Westbrook is winning this battle. Haas still has a little bit of zip in the old arm. Look at that one. Oh! Oh!
What a throw by Hostetler. 7 catches, 98 yards for Westbrook. Another 1st down. Clock continues to run. Hostetler again. Westbrook again. This time he lost it. It's incomplete. The Giants are lobbying for a catch and a fumble.
I'll tell you, Jason Sehorn is opening the gates on Michael Westbrook. He is just letting him free release inside. We talked about him being a physical corner. He's got to lock him up on the line of scrimmage. Right here, what he's doing is he's jumping outside. Michael's just running inside. He's got to take him on and get physical with him at the line. See? No hand contact. Michael Westbrook is winning the battle both mentally and physically against Jason Sehorn.
And that's not the way Sehorn plays. 2nd and 10. Allen cuts it back, got it to the 37-yard line. Got a good block from Trey Johnson, one of the best pulling guards in the NFL. Now Armstead upset about something.
It's Giants Redskin, Mike.
Yeah, that'll get you upset to start with.
You know, you come in upset on both sides of the ball.
The Redskins have run off a ton of time on this drive, keeping the ball away from the Giants in their territory.
But they've not been able to really get themselves in a position yet to be able to take a shot down the field.
Play clock running down. North Turner says you got to hurry. Hostetler just got it off. Throws underneath. That will be very close to a 1st down, and it's going to be interference on top of it. Henry Ellard makes the catch. Had Conrad Hamilton right on top of him. If that catch stands, that's number 800 in a remarkable career for Henry Ellard, 5th all time.
Pass interference on the defense, number 41. The penalty is declined. The result is a catch and a 1st down.
800 catches for Henry Ellard. Just remarkable. And that yards, 13.555, that's number 3 all time.
The average 20 yards a carry, Mike. That is what is so impressive. Haas doing a good job of firing the ball out. And Henry just working. Like I said, when people are around him, he is unbelievable at making catches.
Clock down to 3:12. Redskins now with territory to operate in. Hostetler again, and losing his footing. That time was Westbrook. Looked like he was trying to come back to the ball.
This is a terrific field, Mike. You can see the grass is cut real low. And as the night goes on, it gets a little slicker, and you can't get your feet out from underneath you or you wind up on the ground. Michael tried to come out of his break a little too quick that time.
Hostetler has performed well since coming in for Gus Frerotte. Look at the drive. 4:21 off the clock. Starting to 7:29. Play clock running down again. Hostetler on the bootleg. Throwing in a run. Tipped it incomplete. Intended for Asher. Marcus Buckley got a hand on it.
Hostetler's pass intended for Jamie Asher incomplete.
Redskins facing another critical 3rd down.
I got to believe, Mike,
trying to stop him.
If you're the Giants, what you try and do here is you got to put pressure on Hostetler. You can't leave him back there and give the receivers a chance to work into a dead area in the zone. You make him get rid of the football quick. If he's got to throw a blitz break off, it's up to the corner to make a tackle and keep him short of the 1st down. Because Norv would not go for it this far away if it's over 5 or 6 yards.
Redskins came in best in the league. They have had even a better percentage tonight. 4-man rush. Hostetler with a man in his face. They'll get him on the sack at the 38. The front 4 just collapsed the pocket, and Robert Harris, the big defensive tackle, has his career high in sacks.
But the big thing is Jason Sehorn does a physical job on Henry Ellard this time. He just stays with him. And Felipe Sparks, he's not going to let Michael Westbrook get very far away. Haas has nowhere to go with the football. Big play by that Giant front 4 again.
The Giants defense did its job. Turk has been struggling punting in the 2nd half. He gets off a cannon shot this time. Toomer all the way back to the 6. And that's it. Great punt, great coverage. 54 yards. Nothing on the return. 2:25 left in this one.
This simple-looking device is the key to unlock your...
On their feet at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. This is for first place in the NFC East. If the Giants win, they go up by 2 games. If the Redskins win, it's a tie for first place. Wheatley. 15. Stiff arm Stanley Richard. There's a flag down as Wheatley gets to the 20. Tyrone Wheatley's best run of the night. The Redskins are saying it's against the Giants, and it is. Huge penalty there.
And it's probably going to be holding by one of the wide receivers because the flag is thrown so far from where the lineman set up.
Holding offense, number 80. Half the distance to the goal, still 1st down.
Right you are, Joe. It's Chris Callaway trying to throw a block downfield.
That's Chris Callaway trying to just stay up. There he is on Gerald Green. Now he's just trying to stay between the ball carrier and Green. Well, he grabbed him. Kanell under pressure, threw it away. I gotta tell you, that was so close to being a safety. Kanell does a good job of getting rid of the football, but he's not out of the tackle box.
I was going to say, how close is it to intentional grounding?
It's just a question of where the official thought the receiver was, Mike.
Well, there wasn't a receiver within 10 yards. Watch Kennard Lang.
Number 30, Charles Way. See him coming out? Yep, he's trying to get the ball to him. 30's going to be right out in the flat. Kanell feeling the pressure, manages to get it off, and Way doing a good job of make-believing that he wanted the ball.
Well, he was in the vicinity, let's put it that way. Tiki Barber. Across the 10, back to about the 12.
Kennard Lang in on the tackle.
Overtime, an increasing possibility as we have reached the 2-minute warning. The Giants and the Redskins, an old-time NFC battle. It is a holy war. At least it used to be in the NFC East. It has been rekindled tonight. The battle for first place. 3rd and 5, Giants. 2 minutes left. Blitz. Kanell throws behind Callaway, and Green will be called for interference. I thought the earlier one on him was a terrible call. This one looked like a good one.
Pass interference on the defense, number 28. That's an automatic first down.
Mike, you run that risk when you've got corners that play as close as Dishman and Green do. Callaway comes in motion now. When they're playing that close, the way you free him up a little bit, you see Darrell grab the right shoulder. When he grabbed the right shoulder pad, I think that's what got him in trouble.
Second pass interference call against the Redskins. Big first down for the Giants. Eric Pedram gets the call. Picks up maybe a yard. Clock running, 1:45 and counting. Both teams have all of their timeouts left.
Interesting strategy by the Giants. They realize they're backed up in their own end. They're not calling timeouts, and they've not gone to a 2-minute offense. They could be playing this thing down to a tie to try and get better field position.
Kanell looked like he tried to stop his motion, and it slipped out of his hands. That stops the clock with 1:23 to go and brings up 3rd and 9.
That throws a fly in the ointment.
Yes, it does.
All his arm has to do is start forward. Starts forward, and he just can't hang on to it.
Third and 9 with 1:23 to go. The Redskins can hold here. They have plenty of time left. They're pretty decent field position. 3 wide receivers set for Kanell. Comes the blitz. He throws sideline, incomplete. Darrell Green with the coverage on David Patton. And the crowd gives the Redskins defense a big hand.
And the Redskins defense did their job. There's 1:18 left on the clock. 3 timeouts by the Redskins. They should get the ball somewhere in the neighborhood of the 40-45-yard line, their own.
Maynard to kick for the 10th time. Redskins put a lot of pressure on him again. Mitchell from the 30. Reversed his field, and he's going to be buried at the 34. Let's check in with Ron Jaworski.
Hey, Mike, I've been watching the corners from the Redskins all night down here on the field, Green and Dishman, and I tell you, they love to get in your face at the line of scrimmage and get their hands on the wide receiver. As you see right here, they're right in position, uptight, bumping, running. Now the hands come out, and what this does, it gets a feel where the receiver wants to go. Now Darrell Green makes up the speed right there. Then you come back to another play on the other side with Chris Dishman again, allows the clean release off, gets his hands on him. That's a beautiful thing right there. And what he does with the hands, he feels where he's going. And I tell you, Danny Kanell is going to have a tough time sticking the ball in there, Mike.
As well as every other quarterback in the NFL, Jaws. 1:05 to go in the game. Tied at 7. Hostetler, look out from behind. Asher can't make the catch, and Hostetler was nearly dehorned by Holsey. Let's go back to Jaws.
You know, Mike, when you take away those wide receivers, you're forced to throw the ball inside. And, of course, Kanell has been throwing the ball to his tight ends and running backs 15 times. You can see the wide receivers, they've been thrown to 8 times, only 2 complete. And actually, one was a touchdown to Callaway, but he was in position in the slot. So they really have taken away the wide receivers tonight. Dishman and Green are outstanding, Mike.
And, Jaws, it's so enormous. Usually the wide receivers, your big play guys. No wonder we have a 7-7 tie. 2nd and 10. Hostetler overthrows Westbrook.
That time Haas had Michael Westbrook. Jason Sehorn bailed out and allowed Westbrook to make a free release. That one just got away from the Haas a little bit.
Hostetler has hit 11 of 23 for 110 yards tonight in relief of the injured Gus Frerotte. There's Scott Blanton, who earlier missed a 45-yard field goal. That's the difference in the ball game right now.
He's 3 for 9 over 40 yards this year.
After a spectacular season last year. 3rd and 10. Hostetler hit as he threw.
What a job by Hosley again, Michael. This time he doesn't necessarily make any play. He just absolutely bull rushes Joe Patton all the way back into Hostetler. Excuse me, Pordanish, number 67. He tries to take him on, and he just gets pushed right back into him. That's just a question of one guy being a lot stronger than the other one.
Pordanish actually the guy who made the contact with Hostetler. 52 seconds left in regulation. Toomer waits at his 21. Turk with a high floater. Toomer at the 17. Redskins coverage has been superb. Brian Mitchell, the first man down. Here's our bronze storyline from Jack Kent Cook Stadium. The quarterbacks both under 50%. Hostetler with 110 yards, but an interception. Frerotte out with a jam neck. Blanton, in what could have been the game winner, missed from 45 yards, and the Giants with a huge advantage rushing. The Redskins with even bigger an advantage in passing yards. 41 seconds left. Giants with all their timeouts left. Four-man rush, no pressure. Dumping underneath to Barber. Ducks under Patton. First down at the 34.
30 seconds to go. Kanell uses one of his timeouts.
That was the longest pass play of the game for the Giants. A little dump off to the running back.
That's the thing that the Redskins have to be careful of, because if you drop your cover people back too far and you dump it off to a back underneath, if there were no timeouts left, it would be to your advantage. But if you got the 3 timeouts like the Giants had, guy pick up 20 yards, it only takes about 8 or 9 seconds. Conceivably, the Giants are looking at about 4 plays.
Let me bring this up. Last week against Dallas, the Cowboys went 97 yards in the winning drive at the end of the ball game. The Redskins did not blitz once. They were roundly criticized for that, for not getting any pressure on Troy Aikman. If they rush 4 men, they have not had a sack all year long.
No, I think it's wrong. I think Mike Nolan has got to line his guys up and bring more than 4 people, or Kanell will be able to make those kind of completions, and they'll lead up 10, 15 yards.
They put 3 seconds back on the clock, so 33 seconds to go. Dump it off again, this time to Pegram, and he is leveled by Darryl Pounds. A lot of time running off the clock.
I think you can take a shot down the field here now.
Pressure on Kanell. Ken Harvey with the blitz. They've got the completion up to the 48-yard line to Callaway with 9 seconds to go. Giants have 1 timeout left.
Mike, this is a case where you've got 1 play. Now, there's a couple different formations that you like to use. You can line 3 players up on one side, 1 player on the other. Try and get the defense to think that you're going to throw the Hail Mary pass, or whatever you want to call it, Big Ben, whatever name it has, and work one-on-one to the receiver on the other side to get in a position to try and make a field goal. They're going to have to get about 25 yards to get within range. DeLuiso's longest career kick is 54 yards. So they need 15, 20 yards to get him in position.
DeLuiso, 5 out of 9 is a heck of a percentage. Over 50 yards. Oh, he's always had the strong leg. A 15-yard completion would give them a 54-yard crack at it. They've got 1 timeout left.
There is no wind as a factor tonight either.
Kanell dumps underneath to Pegram. Breaks the tackle, but out of bounds at the 47-yard line with 1 second left.
Driven out of bounds by Keith Thibodeau. Gain of 6 yards.
Why not? Why not try a field goal? What the heck?
Daloiso will try it from approximately 64 yards. Are you listening, Tom Dempsey? This would be an NFL record. You've got nothing to lose.
Yes, you do. I don't agree with this.
Blocked.
Right, I don't agree with this. If Jim Fossil decides that he wants to try this length of field goal, I don't agree with it. I think you kneel down, you go to overtime, you get your team organized, and you start from scratch. It's been a 7-7 game. Your defense is playing great. The other team has their second quarterback in. The thing is, on a long kick, Mike, they always come out low, which lends itself to a block, and there's just too many bad things that can happen with this kind of a decision. I don't agree with it.
Because you're really trying to drive the ball to get the distance. And
it's a good thing that Kanell called the timeout because, you know, Jim Fossil had a chance to think about it a little bit.
You also have to believe what your place kicker is going to tell you. You know, do you have a shot from 64 yards? Apparently, Daloiso said, Coach, I don't think so. I'm good, but I'm not that good.
No, I think this is the right way to go.
47 yards away from a win.
Tell you why you go after Kanell now. And the Redskins aren't going to, but if you're just going to bring 3, you're going to give him a chance to be able to throw the ball deep down the field.
Kanell hit as he throws. It's caught by Toomer at the 18-yard line, but he'll be tackled and harmlessly go down.
Let's go to overtime.
Why not?
It's been a great game. Why not give you some more?
28-yard game. But only statistically important. And Jim Fossil and North Turner will go to overtime.
Mike,
well, it's the most important game of the year for both teams, so why not?
And we talked about in the beginning the way these teams, the way this game started to settle in, field position became very, very important. And it will here because it looks like neither team can mount much of an offensive drive, so the punters are going to play a very big part in where the ball winds up for an opportunity to end this game.
The only way they've scored tonight is after a turnover with a short field.
We now play an overtime period up to 15 minutes in length. We will use fourth quarter timing rules. Each team receives 2 timeouts. We now toss the coin to see who receives. New York will call it. Who will? Number 98. Again, tails, heads, tails. Call it in the air. Heads is the call. It is a tail.
We want the ball.
You want the ball? Which one do you want the ball? You defend that ball, kick it right, turn over here.
Gerald Green says, we want the ball.
Washington wins. Well received.
They'll put 15 minutes on the clock. The Giants and the Redskins for first place in the NFC East. Turner both 1-0 in overtime games this year. First place in the NFC East on the line. You would have to say the game far more important to the Redskins because if they lose, they fall 2 games behind back into a tie with Dallas. And the Giants have all the tiebreakers in their favor.
They have all the tiebreakers, Mike, but they also have a very, very difficult 4 games left. So if they can get one here, it gives them a little bit of breathing room, but not a lot.
Mitchell waits at the 1-yard line. He has returned 1 this year, 97 yards for a touchdown. Overtime at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Squibber picked up by Stephen Davis. 30. Still on his feet at the 35. Dives to the 39. Big return. Ryan Phillips gets the tackle, but it's a gain of 27 on the return. numbers on Hostetler. The report on Gus Frerotte, a jammed neck. Was x-rayed and then taken to the hospital as a precaution. The report after that, he's fine.
And you wonder if it was self-induced when he ran into the matting that lines the lower part of the field.
But he won't do that again. Michael Strahan with a career high in sacks. Got his 12th earlier in the ballgame. Terry Allen, the running back. Picks up maybe a half yard before it's thrown back into the backfield.
Mike, the Giant defensive line has owned the Redskin line all night long. Terry Allen has had no creases to run to. He can't get ahead of steam and get going anywhere.
At front four, Strahan, Harris, Hamilton, Cedric Jones, who was in there earlier at defensive end, playing for the injured Chad Bratsky. They have done the job. Holsey as well at that defensive end spot, intended for Westbrook and short. Westbrook has had a big night for the Redskins. Hostetler has missed his last 6 after being very hot when he first came in.
The last couple have not been real good. He missed Westbrook on the corner real high. This one here was a wobbly one, low and outside. Nordness doesn't have many places to turn. He has Trent Green, but he's the third quarterback.
3rd and 8. Movement up front. Looked like Sharp or Donish, who was in at that left tackle spot.
5 yards, still 3rd down.
And it is the big guy out of Nevada, Reno. Redskins have had 6 penalties tonight for 49 yards. They've all come in the second half.
Remember now, the Redskins coming into this game tonight were the least penalized team in football. So uncharacteristic mistakes.
3rd and 13 now. Hostetler with time. Over the middle, intercepted by Sehorn. He flips it to Wooten. Tito Wooten, he fumbles the ball. It's out of bounds. The Giants will keep it. Sehorn with the interception, his 3rd of the season. The lateral to Tito Wooten.
Last week against Arizona, Jason Sehorn had a career. Forced fumbles, sacks, interceptions. This time he's matched up against Henry Ellard, and we talked about the physical size difference. He's just mirroring Ellard, reads him, sees the break. He starts breaking before Ellard does. Turns and makes the play. That's just a great job of reading a route. And then, let's get cute. Wooten's falling all over the place, and just darn lucky he kicks this thing out of bounds.
Joe, you were absolutely right. Sehorn broke on the pattern before Henry Ellard did. That's homework. That's knowing what's coming. 2 interceptions by Hostetler. Wheatley, and chased down from behind by Jesse Campbell. What an addition he has been this year for the Redskins.
Well, this game is special, obviously, for him coming from the Giants. But again, good job by the defensive line creating a gap so that Jesse Campbell can come through. Watch the right side of your screen. Here he comes. Wheatley's not going to outrun him. Jesse's got a full head of steam coming through.
Campbell, who spent all of his career with the Giants until this year, came as an unrestricted free agent. 3rd on the Redskins in tackles this year. He's made big plays. Kanell tries to dump it off, and Way can't make the catch. Chased out in the flat by William Gaines, who has had maybe one of the best games the Redskins defensive linemen have had all year long.
William Gaines is making a real case for himself. Says, hey, coach, look, I know you want Chris Mims and Mark Boutte to be your tackles, but how about taking a look at me?
Hey, they'll take anybody who's going to make some plays for them. 3rd and 14 in a real slugfest. Ken Harvey. Three sacks for Ken Harvey.
just pure bull rushing, too. It's a good job by the secondary, which the Redskins have had all night. But here comes the bull rush on Roman Oben. Just locks into him helmet to helmet and just drives him back. Kanell just standing there. And Harvey winds up with his 3rd sack of the night.
Ken Harvey had 1 sack all year. He has 3 tonight. The guy who's gone to 3 state Pro Bowls has really come up big this evening. Mitchell, fair catch at the 36 after a 42-yard punt. NFL Prime Monday tomorrow night at 7:30. Center coming up after our broadcast. May have a ways to go here, the way the offenses have been stymied by tremendous defensive play. Hostetler, play action. Complete to Asher in Giant territory to the 47-yard line. 16 yards on the completion to Asher.
Jamie Asher, as Mike mentioned, has been the leading receiver for the Redskins. This time a little bit of play action causes the linebackers to bite up inside. Armstead gets caught inside. Asher just slides over, makes the reception, and gets into Giant territory.
Everybody's starting to grip just a little bit at this point. Overtime for first place. Hostetler throws outside. Westbrook went inside. There's Scott Blanton, who already missed a 45-yarder.
Not looking at any pictures now. He knows where the goalposts are now. They were on film. He's seen them.
You know, if you're a good kicker, you want another opportunity, and Scott Blanton is. But somewhere in the deep, dark recesses of his mind, he'd like to see a 46-yard touchdown pass.
Or a 20-yard chip shot.
Yeah. Hostetler has hit only 4 of his last 17. Here comes the blitz. Complete to Henry Eller, number 801, to the Giant 39. It will be another big 3rd down play coming.
And the Redskins can get a first down here, Mike. They're really putting themselves in a field goal opportunity situation. John Fox, I think he's still got to come after Hostetler. I don't think he sits back in any kind of a zone.
His Giants coaching staff have done a heck of a job this year. This was a team that was picked to finish near the bottom of the NFC East. 3rd and 2. And the Redskins will use the timeout. One of their 2 in overtime. 10:43 to go in OT. Back in a moment. Sides say it all, don't they? 3rd and 2 for the Redskins at overtime. What do you like here?
I just think that Chris Thomas has been a big play guy for the Redskins. Michael Westbrook, he's sort of the obvious choice, so I wouldn't necessarily look that way. I would look for number 89, Chris Thomas, possibly on a 6 or 7 yard hook route, and just give him a chance to make a play.
Third and 2. The ball just inside the New York Giants 40-yard line. Quarterback draw. Hostetler flipped the ball up in the air, and the Giants have it. Holy cow, what was Hostetler thinking of on that one?
That's going to be a great question for somebody to ask him. It looks like he takes off to try and make a play on a quarterback draw. But that's okay. Just punt the ball back. Here he sees a hole. Now he tries to run into it. Now he looks like he's trying to flip the ball out to the side to maybe Asher. He's hit. There he tries to throw it up in the air. And Strahan makes the hit. Just a terrific job. Throws Simmons out of the way. Makes the hit.
Just a terrible decision on Hostetler's part and very uncharacteristic for him. So now the Giants go back to work, and Charles Way will get maybe a yard and no more. So field position advantage now goes to the New York Giants. 2 picks and a fumble for Hostetler.
The way the Redskin defense has been playing, if you just punt the ball away, just punt it back, put him back inside the 20 somewhere, you're going to guarantee some good field position on the exchange.
Michael Strahan, who's had some game tonight, as have the entire defensive units of both ball clubs. Call it 2nd and 8 here. Kanell under pressure. Guess who? 4 sacks for Ken Harvey.
That time the Giants decide they wanted to go naked in the backfield, which means that they have no backs left there. Way went in motion, and he comes scot-free. What happens, they line up more people on the outside. Both tight ends release. There's nobody on Ken Harvey. Kanell does a good thing going down, protecting the ball.
4 sacks and a forced fumble. Almost 30% or 33% of the sacks for the year. They had 33% tonight. Another blitz. Kanell throws underneath to Callaway. Nowhere near first down yardage, and you got to hand it to the Redskin defense.
No, that's a great call by Mike Nolan, and I don't know why more people don't do it. It's 3rd down and 13. You bring the blitz. You make the quarterback throw the ball to the hot receiver. You tackle him. Then you get the ball back. That's just good, sound, solid football. That's a heck of a call by Mike Nolan.
And what a stand, especially after, you know, the emotional swing of losing that football.
But now Haas has got to go back and gain some composure on that offense.
Well, he will. He's been doing it for 14 years. Maynard, another howitzer. Mitchell lets it go, and it bumps into a giant downfield and rolls out of the end zone. Break for the Skins. They'll get it at the 20-yard line with 8:30 to go in overtime. It's the semifinals of the Chase preseason NIT Wednesday night beginning at from the 35. Blitz hangs in there, throws, complete to Henry Ellard at midfield. Somebody did something wrong on that pattern because Westbrook and Ellard were almost hip to hip.
Henry Ellard keeps going. What happens is the Giants want to commit to safety. Watch number 22, Felipe Sparks, come down. Great job by Terry Allen on the block. Haas focuses downfield, never even sees Felipe coming. And Henry Ellard just keeps running to make the play. Michael Westbrook's there on the ground waiting on him. But you're right, Mike. Normally you don't call patterns with 2 receivers in the same area.
1st and 10 Redskins at midfield. Allen on the draw. Even after so many passes in a row and they go to the draw, there's nothing there as Robert Harris just swallowed him up.
I'll tell you something. If Michael Strahan doesn't get voted to the Pro Bowl, there's something wrong. But the whole defensive line has played so well.
They came in 3rd against the run in the NFL, averaging less than 94 yards a game. They have only given up 68 tonight, and we're halfway through the first overtime period. Allen, 25 carries, 60 yards. 4-man rush this time. Hostetler sidearms it, knocked down by Harris.
What they're doing, Mike, the defensive line, they're locking up on the Redskins' offensive linemen, and they're stronger. They're just pushing them back and making plays. Harris is just going to go right here and knock the ball down right at the line of scrimmage. It's on Bob Dahl. He just gets in, all right, pushes, and then he's so strong that he can get one hand free and knock the ball down.
Picked him up as a free agent in '95 from the Vikings. 3rd and 10. 56 to go in overtime. Hostetler, quick slant to Westbrook. Now it's decision time. He's going to be short of the first down.
I think now you go for it on 4th down. I think you can go for it. I think your football team has the character to do it. But the thing I'd want to do, if I'm Norv, I'd like to get a measurement. I want to see exactly how far. Gives me a chance. See what he's doing now? Norv always goes over and talks to Mike Nolan. He'll say to him, Mike, what do you think? He says, hey, look, the guys are playing well. If you want to go for it, I'll get my guys to stop them. That's a great job by a head coach talking to his coordinator on defense and saying, what do you think we ought to do? What do you like? Now he knows exactly what he needs. 2 feet.
You would normally think this is a running play, but the Redskins very often haven't gotten beyond the line of scrimmage on a running play. And they will go for it.
I still think you got to run the football. The Redskins have made their reputation and their living running the football. If they can't convert this, they don't deserve to win. Then again, if the Giants stop them, they do.
4th down conversions in the middle of the pack. They've tried it 6 times this year. Terry Allen. That'll be close on 2nd effort. Initially, he was stopped. Then he leaned forward. He still looked like it was short. It depends on the mark.
Well, what great penetration by that Giant defensive line. They're spending half the night, more than half the night in the backfield of the Redskins.
They had to cross the 40 to get it. Just across the 40.
Mike,
11 of Terry Allen's 26 carries tonight have been for 0 or less.
They didn't make it.
And the Giants have held.
I think it's the right call. You got to count on your football team to make a play. And right now, the Redskins' offensive line is not doing it. Jesse Armstead, number 98, right at the bottom of your screen. He cuts in. He's the first one. He takes the blocks out, and then there's a whole bunch of help. Here comes 97. He follows Dahl down, and he's right there in the hole. See, there's so much penetration by that Giant defensive line.
They have been awesome tonight. And Armstead sensational as usual. Now it's up to the Redskins defense again to prevent the Giants from getting 25 yards and a game-winning field goal. Kanell gives it away. That play has worked so many times tonight, but not here.
I believe that Danny Kanell is going to have to throw the football for the Giants to win. And the way that they can probably get the ball to a wide receiver, Mike, is when you've got great bump and run coverage. What you want to do is you want to move a receiver in motion. It's harder for Dishman and Green to get their hands on the wide receivers and then allow them to make a play. It's got to get out in rhythm and time, or those guys are so quick they'll be there.
Only 83 yards passing for the New York Giants tonight. That's how good the Redskins secondary and linebackers are. 2nd and 9. Play action by Kanell. Deep sideline, Dishman stride for stride with Patton. You couldn't have handed it to him.
Nah. If you did, Dishman would have knocked it away. Chris Dishman gives a little space, still has the speed to run. Now, the problem Patton has is he's looked back for the ball the entire time. It's going to slow him down. That's just something that Patton has to learn to do. He's just a rookie, but he's going to have to learn how to run after the ball.
5 completions, 58 yards to the wide receivers. One big 3rd down after another. 3rd and 10. Blitz. Complete at the Redskin 46 to Amani Toomer. Dishman was right there, but couldn't stop that one. A gain of 15. Nice throw by Kanell.
And Amani Toomer has been the guy that has made big plays for these Giants all through the course of the year. But the thing is, see, Mike, they let him off the line. They let him run. All day long, Dish has been up in his face. They let him run, and he makes a play. We saw the same thing with Michael Westbrook for the Redskins. You give him a little space, he can make a play.
Galoiso would have a chance with another 10 yards. He'd have a good crack at the game-winning field goal. The pass to the sideline will get it to the Redskins 38-yard line. That was the tight end Aaron Pierce.
There's a case where Jim Fossil wants to move his quarterback a little bit. Very innovative on offense. Don't just drop him back. You know Ken Harvey's been having a heck of a night, so just sprint him out of the pocket a little bit.
From right here, it would be a 54-yard field goal attempt. DeLuiso certainly has the leg for 54. That is his career long, by the way. Way. Nothing. And William Gaines, who may be having the game of his Redskin life, makes another tackle. He was originally a 5th-round draft choice of the Dolphins in '94. Didn't work out for him there. The Redskins picked him up in '95.
Gaines right in the middle. There he is. Big guy doing a job, just coming right over Scott, number 53. Just drives him back, throws him out of the way to make the play. Mike, I believe here you don't play conservative. Whatever, you could throw it, you could run it. I just think that this is an opportunity for the Giants maybe to run a little play action.
3rd and a long one. Kanell straight back. Time. Floats it over the middle, nobody there.
Well, he didn't like it and he threw it away. I'd never fault anybody for that kind of a decision.
Well, here's the decision for Jim Fossil. Do you go for the 54-yard field goal? Do you go for the 1st down? Or do you punt the ball? He's got a lot of things to think about. The Giants will call a timeout to talk it over. If you are Jim Fossil right now, those are your 3 choices. Yeah. What would you do?
I'd punt it back deep in the end. You got 3 minutes and 23 seconds left. I'd make the Redskins try and go a long way.
3:23 to go in overtime. Back in a moment. If the Giants get this game-winning field goal, they would raise their record to 8-4, 5-0 in the division, 7-1 in the conference. It would take a virtual collapse to then cost them the NFC East. If the Redskins can come back and win, then it's a different ball game. The Giants still have the tiebreaker advantages, but everything is still alive.
And you also open the door very big for the Cowboys to get back in.
Brad DeLuiso, in his career, has kicked 3 game winners in 4 attempts. His career long, 54. That won a ball game. He will try another 54. Brad Maynard is the holder. Hooked it wide.
Redskin defense did exactly what they had to do. Now they've turned it back over to the offense. Jim Fossil said, hey, look, I gave you a chance. I thought you could do it. He just tries to put a little extra into this thing, gets over the top, and winds up hooking it. Way left. He knows he's got to jack it up a little bit. He just really goes after it. Boom.
Now time is a factor. 3:18 to go. Both teams have 1 timeout left. Hostetler with men in his face throws for Eller. Is it intercepted? It is. Picked off by Sparks. He just took it away.
The ball never really had a lot on it getting out there, Mike. Eller tried to come back and make a play on it, but Sparks broke on it before he could.
Hostetler with 3 interceptions and a fumble.
He sets to make the throw. As he gets it out, Sparks just breaks on it and cuts in front of Eller. The tie would go to the receiver, but this is no tie.
So the Giants in business again at their own 49. 3:12 to go in overtime. Wheatley on the toss. He's got room. Tyrone Wheatley down the sideline and out of bounds.
What a great block by Charles Way. We've seen him run outside. The Giants have decided they want to run to the Redskins' left defensive side, but what a terrific block by Charles Way. Watch the lead block here. He just goes down and cuts down Jesse Campbell and allows Wheatley just to turn the corner. Look at that. Oh, what a picture-perfect block by a fullback.
Just cleaned house. It's at the Redskins 37 again. It was there moments ago. Hostetler hoping the defense can bail him out again. Pegram, same play. Toss sweep. line of scrimmage and no more. Kennard Lang made the tackle. Galloiso getting the leg warm again. If they don't gain any more yardage, it would be another 54-yarder.
Well, he knows what he did last time. He hooked it a little bit. Normally, you come back and repeat, you're probably going to block it a little bit right. I don't think you'll get a third from 54.
2nd and 9. The Redskins have allowed 157 tonight. They came in 29th in the league. Pressure on Kanell, and he throws it away. You can just tell from talking to Danny Kanell, he is not one of these guys who is wedded to his stat sheet. Now, he threw it away because that was the right play to make.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. I believe right now he's got to make a throw to complete it. Even if he picks up 3 or 4 yards, Jim Fossil's got to call a play where Danny Kanell can get some kind of a positive completion here and get Deloiso just a little bit closer. Or get the first down.
They've had success throwing to their backs. Here comes the blitz. Kanell throws incomplete. He was trying to hit Patton, and Patton was covered by Darryl Pounds. It's another 54-yard field goal try. Holy cow, what a ball game.
This is like Groundhog Day. Deloiso's going right back to do the same thing.
Gets another crack at a game winner.
Not this time. This is the decision I thought Fossil should have made the last time.
Now, the reason he may be doing this, and they've called a timeout, is because with a tie, the Giants aren't hurt nearly as bad as the Redskins would be for a tie. They would still have a 1.5 game lead on Dallas, a game on the Redskins.
I'm not sure that he has worked out all those numbers to his satisfaction quite yet. I also think that at this particular part of the field, what you're doing is you're giving the Redskins an opportunity to move just a few yards for a possibility for a first down and an opportunity for them to kick it. But as we have spoken, it looks like he may have changed his mind one more time.
Galloiso is coming back out on the field. The other thing that may be coming into his mind, it has been so hard, obviously, to score points, that if you have any chance to get 3, you go for it.
And obviously, at this point, Mike, we have absolutely no idea what's on his mind because he's changed twice.
Well, tough to second-guess Jim Fossil from what he's done this year. Galloiso will try from 54 again. And they'll blow this one dead. It's blocked, but there won't be a play. Somebody called timeout. The official nearest to us called it.
The Redskins were in a state of confusion with where everybody should line up. So Marcus Patton, as well as Darryl Pounds, turns around and calls timeout.
What a killer for the Skins.
There's Patton, number 53. He's talking to Pounds off to the right. Now they turn around and go to the side judge. Give me a timeout. Just before the ball was snapped. Okay, time for a personnel switch again.
And Norv asked very simply, what were you guys doing?
Well, I'll tell you something. Jim Fossil's convinced right now that 54 may just be a little bit much for Deloiso at this stage.
Well, that one hit one of his linemen right in the posterior. It didn't get more than 2 feet off the ground. Lance Scott got thumped. And now the Giants will make another decision switch and go with the punt. Brad Maynard will be kicking for the 13th time tonight.
Now, both teams are out of their timeouts. There's 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in overtime. There will not be another one. See, I felt that this is the decision he should have made the last time. You had more time left on the clock. You back him up even a little bit further, and you still had a timeout left.
The Redskins may be coming after him. They have tried to put pressure on Maynard all night long. They have 9 men to rush the kicker, but they drop back. Maynard going for the near corner and didn't get it. 36-yard punt into the end zone.
Maynard's punt goes into the end zone for a touchback.
A tie would help the Giants. They would go to 7-4-1. You look at the divisional and the conference records. They would only lose a half game to Dallas in both of those tiebreakers, and they would not lose any ground to the Redskins. So if they can finish the season reasonably well, a tie would be to their benefit tonight.
Yeah, but that's the last thing on this man's mind right now. He wants his defense to make another play and give his offense a chance to pick up some ground and give Deloiso another shot. Now, for Jeff Hostetler, he's not played well. He's thrown 3 interceptions, made a terrible decision on a scramble. This is his opportunity to get his offense going.
2:12 to go in overtime. A 7-7 tie. Terry Allen behind Logan. When the Giants just fly to the football. Jason Sehorn up from the corner along with middle linebacker Corey Widmer. And we have reached the 2-minute warning in overtime at Jack Kent Cooke Stadium. Well, exactly what you would expect from the Giants and the Redskins. If you like defense, this has been some show tonight.
Really is. There hasn't been any big play. I mean, a big play is a 20-yard reception or a 10-yard run.
The last time these teams played the ties in overtime, you go back 14 years for the Giants. You go back pre-Joe Theismann for the Redskins.
Which is a long time ago.
This is ancient history. 71. Hostetler. Near sideline. Henry Ellard. At the 41-yard line, that'll be a first down. Beat Felipe Sparks.
Ellard releases inside a little bit, gets Sparks going. He told me on Friday, he said, Felipe Sparks is the kind of guy you have to work on all the time. Michael Westbrook
may have been hit in the eye. So the Redskins really down to one of their top 4 receivers right now. And that's Ellard. Hostetler to Mitchell into Giant territory at the 48-yard line. Scott Galen made the tackle. Clock running, 1:41 in overtime. The Redskins had no more timeouts.
And that was the case where the Giants decided to just go after Hostetler with 4. I got to believe that it's not going to cut it at this stage.
Here comes the blitz. They pick it up. Hostetler hit as he threw, and it's incomplete, intended for Asher.
That's really what they have to do, Mike. You've got to bring multiples of people, more than 4 linebackers, safeties, however many you want to add to it. In this case, you can't let Haas just dump it off. There you see the blitz. Armstead's in on it.
Boy, Brian Mitchell will really stand in there as a little guy and pick up a blitzer.
Tito Wooten, 29, also in on the blitz, the strong safety. John Fox is cutting them all loose now. I'd expect him to go again with it.
Hostetler has thrown the ball 38 times in the second half. Man in his face, he's going to scramble. He can still run. Hostetler dives for a first down at the 38. The clock is a big factor here because the Redskins do not have a timeout.
Now keep in mind, if Jeff Hostetler had decided to slide, they would have marked it where his butt hit the ground. In this case, he went head forward, so it's where the ball hit the ground. That's why he was able to get the first down.
53 and counting. Hostetler directing traffic. And they throw the ball down. The Redskins wasted about 10 seconds there in a play where all they're going to do is spike it.
Well, you know, the problem is, Mike, is you've got guys that haven't played on the field, and usually when you're going to spike it, the wide receivers are the last ones to get set up. In this case, he's trying real hard to get everybody just standing still so that he can spike the ball.
Ellard and Kanell had been the wide receivers. Michael Westbrook is back on the field. 2nd and 10 with 48 seconds to go in the game. Here comes the blitz. Hostetler to Westbrook at the Giant 25, and they rule it's out of bounds.
And Westbrook's going to get himself a 15-yard penalty for taking his helmet off.
Holy cow! Westbrook takes off the helmet. Are you kidding me?
Norv Turner's going to absolutely eat this kid up, and he should. This is what's holding Michael Westbrook back from becoming something special.
Michael Westbrook just may have cost his team the ball game.
Haas does a good job of scrambling. Westbrook's on the move. Now he has to have both feet. He doesn't really have possession. But that's not the worst part of it. Okay, there it is. There comes the helmet.
That is 15 yards for unsportsmanlike conduct, and Norv Turner goes after Westbrook. What are you thinking?
Never, ever had possession of the ball. Ball hits the ground. Someday he's going to become a professional football player and grow up. Right
Boy,
now,
Ken Harvey is right in his face, and he's got help. Just absolutely stupid on the part of Michael Westbrook. Now it's 3rd and 25. Giants jump offside. Free play for Hostetler. Throws short to Mitchell. He's forced out of bounds.
You know, that's a good play by Hostetler. Any way you can pick up just a few yards, he does. He's going to get 5 now. Now he's got to make a throw, I think, in the middle of the football field to try and pick up 15 yards to give Blanton an opportunity.
You remember in preseason when Michael Westbrook sucker punched his teammate Stephen Davis on the sideline. It took a long time to get him back in the good graces of everyone. The Redskins will take the penalty because it gives them 5 yards and keeps only 3rd down. This is the kind of play that can alienate the whole team against you.
Well, in a game like this where you fight your heart out for 5 quarters and you're so close and you're fighting for a division lead, you can't afford to have guys lose their cool.
And it ruins what was a career best game for him. 9 catches, 125 yards, only 1 off his career high. 3rd and 20, 38 seconds to go. The Redskins still have a chance. 3-man rush. Hostetler throws to Ellert. Now they've got to go for it on 4th down, the clock running.
And also, the thing is Haas can't spike the ball because it is 4th down.
And one of the Redskins linemen is hurting. Now they're going to run Blanton on. They're going to try a field goal. It would be 54 yards. This is great hustle by the special teams just to get out there. Scott Blanton to win it. Wide right. What a roller coaster of emotions for both of these ball clubs.
Blanton was 1 for 3 over 50 coming in. It was inconceivable. But how big was the penalty on Michael Westbrook? Just because he lost his composure and took his helmet off.
You take the 15 yards off, that would be a 37-yard field goal attempt to win it.
That's right. This is right. He's incomplete at the 25-yard line. Now he rips his helmet off. And there's Norv. Mike, your helmet.
Physical ability alone will not win ball games for you.
I've played with a lot of very physically talented football players, Mike, that could never make it in this game.
Kanell on the last play. Intercepted by the Redskins. And lateral to Pounds. But that's it. Woo. The ball game is over. It ends in a tie in overtime. And the New York Giants have preserved their lead in the NFC East. Our final score, 7-7. Coming up next, SportsCenter, Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne. The top stories they'll be following, the Cowboys and the Packers. Mike Ditka's future and the conversation with Troy Aikman.